Yo, 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 what's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. That there's sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday, July 12th, 2024. Ugly day today. Rain all day, but you know what? Sometimes you need stuff like that. But in my line of work, the rain don't be my friend during the summertime. But it is what it is. What up, Lomar? Yo, how you doing, homie? Before we get started, let me give a couple birthday shout outs today. The homie Lomar, he's a loyal listener. So happy birthday to you, bro. Love and respect. Hope you enjoy your day. And you taking time out on Friday evening. Your birthday's on a Friday, my boy. And you taking time out of your Friday evening to come chill with your boy? Man, that's love right there, bro. That's love. Real talk. That's love. Hey there. Hey, I see you. What's going on, gorgeous? How you doing? Another birthday shout out to my sis Tasha Ampey. Happy birthday. Definitely hope you enjoy your day. Love you very much. And y'all know what July 12th means? July 12th means it is 1 week away from my birthday. Okay? My birthday is next Friday. You feel me? So I probably will do today's episode, the usually Sports Plus Life Talking-ish, the Friday episode. I will probably do that on Thursday because while I don't have any plans for my birthday, I never know what's going to happen on that day. Now, if I'm sitting in the house and I've done everything early in the day and I'm sitting in the house and I ain't doing nothing, I may come back on just to come fuck with you. I don't know. It's past 2 minutes. I'm cussing now. So, and again, want to give shout out to Too Tough Sports, the Madden Gamer League that's broadcasting on Twitch. If you think you got the skills to pay the bills, come to Too Tough, as well as Heather's Craft Haven, my sis from another miss, Heather's Craft Haven on TikTok. So shout out to everybody again. Hope you guys had a wonderful Friday, and hope you guys stayed dry because it's been raining like crazy all the time. Hey, man. Hey, well, I'm glad you don't mind being here with your homeboy during a rainy day. Hey, ain't nothing like, a rainy day and somebody here rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody watching your show. Now, today's show is going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. I'm going to cut up like I always do. I can't help it. That's in my blood. That's in my DNA. Okay? They not like me. Okay? I cut up all the time. But today is going to be heavy. Even the sports topic. Okay? I'm going to start off talking about Jaylen Brown and Team USA. That's been a big topic, as well as the role, I guess, Stephen A. Smith and Nike plays in that, as well as then we're going to review we're going to review an interview that Dr. Umar Johnson had on the Breakfast Club just a couple of days ago. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it. It was heavy. And we're gonna give our opinions. I'm gonna bring Rob Chandler on there for that interview, for that Umar interview. We're gonna go through that, give our opinions because, like I said, I haven't watched the whole interview. There's some things that Dr. Umar says that I agree with, some things that he says that I don't agree with, but we'll see it. Pretty much everything that he said in the first 20 minutes that I saw, I definitely agreed with. And then, of course, it's Friday, Conspiracy Theories with Robert, Buck, and Chandler. Now, this is not 80 proof that I'm drinking here, okay? Okay, there you go. Old Amazon here. What up, homie? Old Amazon here, too. But yes, this is not 80 proof. I let y'all know when it's 80 proof and when I've officially cracked the bottle, okay? I got my boy Easton Tip Glover saying, old Amazon here. Old Amazon here, too, my nigga. How you doing? But let's start off with Jaylen Brown, this situation with Jaylen Brown. Now, Team USA just had, and if you're not familiar with the sports, just keep up with me because I'm going to have a video to narrate also the point that I'm trying to make. So don't click off, just keep up with me. Talking to you, Puma. Team USA just had their first exhibition game a couple days ago, beating Canada by 14 points, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what's been making headlines about Team USA is Kawhi Leonard predictively decided not to play Team USA. I mean, you can't really count on him to play in the playoffs, and the Olympics start like not too long after the playoffs. And if he's not healthy, which is a lot of the time, I expected him to not play for Team USA. But they replaced him with Boston Celtics wingman, small forward / shooting guard, Derek White. Why is that relevant? I'm sure everybody knows who keep up with sports. Why is that relevant? Because Jason Tatum, who is seen as the best player on the Celtics, is already on the Olympic team, but his running mate, NBA Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown, was left off the team. Why was Jaylen Brown left off the team? Jaylen Brown is one of these woke brothers. He's one of these conscious brothers. He's not going to say what you want him to say. Now, he's not disrespectful in any way, but he's a very conscious brother. He was one of the athletes who was one of the first athletes to march when all of that 2020 stuff was going on. And Stephen A. Smith, and you guys know, again, I'm a huge Stephen A. Smith fan, but he has started to disappoint me. He did just get a new contract for $125 million. I wonder why. Because he keep down talking black folks. First it was OJ, then Jaylen Brown. Like, nigga, come on, bro. You know, at the end of the day, your black ass is still black and will be black forever and ever and ever and ever. You could bleach your skin like Sammy Sosa, nigga. You will always be black. So Stephen A. Smith said a couple of weeks ago that Jaylen Brown was not seen as marketable. Now, why would he not be marketable? Because the things I just said earlier. He doesn't say what you want him to say. He will bring up conscious subjects that people try to avoid over, I guess, to keep the distraction going. That's a shout out to you, Rob Chandler, to keep the distraction going. And he watching me from backstage now. So Jaylen Brown, who's a $300 million NBA player. There's only one other player who has a $300 million contract. That is his teammate, Jason Tatum. And he just got that $300 million contract like 2 weeks ago. Jaylen Brown just played a whole season with a contract that's due to pay him over $300 million, the first in NBA history. And what did he do to back it up? Won NBA Finals MVP. And he was not selected to the Olympic team, where he is clearly one of the best 12 players in the world. And again, Jaylen Brown was one of the first ones on the front lines with all of the social justice stuff. He did something last year that whether it was said or not, the NBA was not happy with. You know, Ice Cube's league, the Big Three, they don't want anything to do with the NBA doesn't want anything to do with Ice Cube's league, the Big Three. They don't want nothing to do with it. And Jaylen Brown on the championship weekend went and played in their all-star game, the first ever active NBA player to play a game with the Big Three. I thought it was dope because I think Cube's league is dope. The whole 3-on-3 idea, which became a popular league, is now an Olympic sport. But you think Cube gets any credit for that? No, but the NBA wasn't happy with that. So Stephen A. Smith would say some things about Jaylen Brown that sources told him. So Jaylen Brown wore shirts that said state your source after the Celtics parade. And Nike has played a big part in this because they may be the ones responsible for Jaylen Brown as well as Kyrie Irving not being on the Olympic team. So I'm going to play this video quickly, and I'm also going to talk about this video as well while I do it. I'm going to talk about this video as well while I do it. Shout out to Self-Talk. Yo, he's a real one when it comes to these videos. But let's start here.
How do you feel about the USA team right now, bro?
What you mean?
Why aren't you there? Do you feel away?
I don't really got no comment. You know what I mean?
Now, come on, home team. Come on, bro.
I got my beautiful day right there. So
he's trying to deflect, ladies and gentlemen, and she's a stepper.
Okay, so today's video, we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith, dissing Jaylen Brown, and ignoring the elephant in the room when it comes to Jaylen Brown. We know that Jaylen Brown is one of the main superstars that called out Nike when they had pulled the plug on Kyrie. Remember, Jaylen Brown had made this tweet saying like, oh, now all of a sudden Nike cares about ethics. So you know the top dogs, they don't like that. They don't like these players that are outspoken, and then they got to put these narratives out. Nike won't do it themselves. They'll just send Stephen A. Smith to do their dirty work. Like Stephen A. Smith said this on ESPN First Take.
Now, before we get back into that interview that Jaylen Brown just did with Cam Newton, that was like yesterday. That was last night. The ESPYs was just last night. So this is a fresh interview. Again, they picked his teammate Derek White, who's a good role player, and he doesn't deserve the scrutiny that he's going to get just by being selected. He should be celebrating him. He should be celebrated this time. But is he a better player than Derek White? No. I mean, is he a better player than Jaylen Brown? No. Is he a better player than Kyrie Irving? No. He's an Elmer Fudd looking motherfucker. I'm telling you, this is an Elmer Fudd looking motherfucker. But just because he got picked and it's his teammate, that was some diabolical shit right there. They picked my boy teammate instead of him, a teammate that he is clearly better than. But let's keep it moving.
But number two, I'm going to throw this out to both of y'all. And Jay, I'm going to come to you first with this. And you say what you want to say, whatever point you was going to make. But I wanted to read to y'all what an NBA source just sent me. He said, Jaylen Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated. It's that he's just not liked because of his, quote, I am better than you attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be. That's what an NBA source just sent me.
So Stephen A. Smith was doing Nike's bidding right there. And this is why Jaylen Brown was like, yo, name your sources. And he had trolled Stephen A. Smith after the Celtics won the championship to beat the Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals. As you can see right here, here's Jaylen Brown trolling Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith went on his podcast and responded to that.
You know that the Boston Celtics are the reigning NBA champions, right? And that final MVP honors went to Jaylen Brown, right? Well, Brown had an interesting shirt on that seemed to be aimed at moi while holding the MVP trophy, preparing.
That's messed up a Nike too. I mean, because Jaylen Brown didn't say anything wrong when they snatched their endorsement deal from Kyrie Irving. Remember last year, because they said because of anti-Semitic comments made by Kyrie Irving, he never said anything anti-Semitic. All he did was post a link that is on the Amazon website. Now, nobody came at Bezos, who's the owner of Amazon, for having that link on his website. But y'all, you know how that game go. You know how that game go. So Jaylen Brown didn't say anything wrong. Since when does Nike care about ethics? By the way, I be rocking Nikes.
For the parade. Take a look at this, y'all.
How we feeling, JB? You ready? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
That shirt, state your sources. He was referring to comments I made stating an anonymous source that told me Brown's quote-unquote attitude was hurting his marketability. Even though I didn't say about attitude, I said he's not likable to some people's eyes. That's what I specifically said. No problem. State your source. That's not going to happen. It'll never happen. Any journalist worth his salt ain't naming the sources. So let's get that out the way first. And Madison Avenue ain't giving him enough shine and attention. And asking the question, why is that? That's all I was doing. Because that's how you provoke conversation. By talking about the absence of obvious nuggets that should be inserted and implemented into a conversation.
You know the thing that constantly trips me out? Hey, Lisa Street, how you doing? You know the thing that trips me out? It really shouldn't, but for some reason it just does. What trips me out is that I said this about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. In this society today, when you tell the truth, you are fucked. I've said this for a long time on this show, back when I was just audio. The truth shall set you free from employment. They should just do away with that that phrase, the truth shall set you free. I mean, because really it should just be the truth hurts. I mean, real shit. The truth hurts. So it's just crazy. And that always trips me out, because when all Jaylen Brown does is state the obvious. But when you state the obvious, you have an attitude problem, or you're difficult to work with, and blah, 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 blah. They start to railroad you. And that's just, to me, that's just kind of messed up.
That's how you do it. And the reality is that when it came to Jaylen Brown, that wasn't happening. So name your source. Hell no. You ain't getting it. But know that people out there saying that.
So that's Stephen A. Smith responded to Jaylen Brown trolling him. And most recently, it was reported that Kawhi Leonard was removed from Team USA and he was replaced by Celtics Derek White. Everybody was caught off guard by the replacement because they would think that,
Hold up. Let me run that back. Now silly me is coming out. Tell me this nigga right here ain't an Elmer Fudd looking motherfucker. You throw a brown hat on that motherfucker. I thought I saw some white women. Ooh, did I say that? My bad. But he an Elmer Fudd. That's an Elmer Fudd looking motherfucker right there. Silly wabbit. I mean, I'm serious. He just, and when he throw on the headband, he looked like Elmer Fudd when he was in Space Jam. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. See, that's me getting off topic. ADHD. What the fuck?
Everybody was caught off guard by the replacement because they would think that, okay, if you're going to replace somebody for Kawhi Leonard, it should be Jaylen Brown or Kyrie Irving, right? So when the news broke that Kawhi Leonard was replaced by Derek White, NBA fans didn't hesitate to address the elephant in the room. And they were saying like, yo, this is Nike. Nike didn't want Jaylen Brown or Kyrie to replace Kawhi Leonard. Stephen A. Smith completely ignores that, right? So Stephen A. Smith, he has to try to double back on what he said on ESPN First Take. And that's the reason why I want to show you guys that old clip, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember that clip when Stephen A. Smith has said that about Jaylen Brown. So Stephen A. Smith responded to Jaylen Brown tweets. Jaylen Brown had made some subliminal tweets when he was snubbed to play for the Olympic team, Team USA. And this is what Jaylen Brown had put out. So Jaylen Brown put out the little emojis questioning like, what's going on here? And then Jaylen Brown called out Nike again. He said, at Nike, this what we doing. So those tweets went viral on Twitter. A lot of sports blogs picked it up. And then Stephen A. Smith quickly attached himself to it. And this is what Stephen A. Smith had to say to diss Jaylen Brown. So Stephen A. Smith said, do y'all believe me now? Yo, do I need to reveal my sources now? It's not obvious now. How in the hell is a $300 million man, now champion and an NBA Finals MVP, who's clearly a top 2 player on the Celtics and a top 15 player in the world, not chosen for Team USA?
That's some wild shit, bro. That's some wild shit to sit and boast about somebody not making Team USA. Hey, man, these people out here cold as hell, man. These people out here is cold as ice. I ain't lying. You don't boast about that, man. Somebody gonna run up. Somebody gonna pull up on Stephen A. one day. I'm not wishing that because his First Take is my favorite show. But Brody, somebody gonna pull up on you one day. They don't, and it's gonna be somebody that got way more money than you. They don't care about the contract that you got, but that's crazy. That's bananas.
Because his teammate, not named Tatum, is selected before him. Come on, y'all. Then, as you can see right here, the top comment, Newcomb said, it's because they're scared of any political statement Jaylen Brown can make. One of the reasons Kyrie is not on the roster, too. Another Twitter user said they both stood against Nike, who funds the entire program. It's coming from them. Imagine Kyrie and Brown on that world stage with a USA jersey on, saying free Palestine. Them cowards didn't even think twice. Selecting them was never an option. And as you can see, people are saying, yeah, we see in the bigger picture now, this is messed up. It's supposed to be Team USA, not Team Nike. Jaylen Brown should be playing in the Olympics. It's really absurd USA basketball allowed themselves to be pushed around by Nike instead of just saying, no, we're selecting Jaylen. Another Twitter user said, we ask you to reveal the sources. So I would love for you guys to get in the comment section down below. I would love to hear y'all thoughts about everything in today's.
Now, would I be wrong if I say would I be wrong if I say that I would laugh if Team USA didn't win the gold? I don't think that's going to happen because if you look at the roster that they got Steph, LeBron, KD, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, so it's not like a Bam Adebayo. So it's not like the team ain't loaded. The team is loaded. They should win gold, but would I be wrong if I kind of chuckled a little bit if they didn't win gold, considering? And what if it was to win the gold medal and they passed it to Derek White and he missed? Would I be wrong if I laughed at that? I'm just asking. Please feel free to tell me if I'd be out of pocket for that. So, I told you this show is going to be heavy, but y'all know me. You guys know me well. I don't like to leave stuff. But so serious. I don't, because it's Friday. It's Fun Friday. So you know what I'm about to do just to bring it back so people can laugh. You know what I'm about to do, bruh. You know it.
Some people wish to be a superstar, wish to have a fancy car, wish to have $1 million+. Let's go. Well, I wish I don't be in love. So feel me, pretty baby.
Let's start that over again.
Some people wish to be a superstar, wish to have a fancy car, wish to have $1 million bucks. Well, I wish I know being in love. So feel me, pretty baby. I make one wish and I wish it all on you. Making love to the break of dawn, me and you to the baby's born.
Oh no, Lomar, this for you, homie. This for you, homie. Till what?
Till my baby's born.
Yo, sing, come on.
Till my baby's born. 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 Till my baby's born.
Hey, I don't care. Y'all probably like, Brandon, what the hell does that have to do with anything? If you are ever having a bad day, just watch that. If you are having a bad day, just watch that video. You will feel so much better about life. Now, Keith said, I do feel Jalen deserves a spot, but it is what it is. It's not like they needed him. Well, you heard the players that, till my baby's born, you heard the players that I just named, but no, they really don't need him, but it's more or less the principle of it. I know y'all are like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? I mean, like I said, if you are feeling bad about yourself, just listen. Just listen.
I wish it all on you. Making love to the break of dawn, me and you to the baby's born.
Happy birthday, Lomar.
Till my baby's born.
Yo, sing, come on.
Till my baby's born. 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 Till my baby's born.
I need to stop.
Till my baby's born.
If I had one wish,
Till my baby's born.
I need to stop. I need to stop because if I keep on fucking around, it's going to be one day when I'm singing and I sound like that, and I will deserve it. I really will deserve it. I will deserve every bit of it. I will. I will deserve that shit. And if I ever sound like that when I'm singing, it's time for me to hang it up. It's time for me to hang it up. Maybe that's one reason why I stopped smoking. I don't know. I don't know. But welcome, Senor Robert Chandler. Yeah, he should have got Brandy. Really should have got Brandy. He should have got a few other people too. What up, homie? Hey, man,
Damn, Marlette.
Can you turn me down in the background, bro?
Yeah, my bad.
No, you good. Thanks for the view, nigga. No, let me stop.
What's up,
What's good, bro?
say, oh yeah, niggas did run up on you heard me.
Niggas ran up on
Niggas
who?
that ran up on Stephen A before.
Cool.
On Stephen A.
Right, somebody gonna run up on his ass Birdman style, saying put some respect on my name. Are we finished? Are we done?
Yeah. Down there in Sasua, you gotta do some research.
Oh Lord.
In Sasua.
Boy, you sounded like the Matrix, bro. Sounded like computer love.
Sasua is like
you gotta get it together. You gotta get you gotta get you gotta get that together, bro. You done froze up. Watch it. His picture about to disappear. Up there you go.
I'm not doing nothing. Yard.
Oh, stream. Okay, well, like you see, he got it in feelings. well, how did you do it last time? Where you had okay, all right, just there you go, roll the blunt up, there you go. But okay, there you go. So, is this place in the Dominican Republic that you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but we didn't see that. We didn't know somebody's going to publicly roll up
Chris
on him.
Rock blew the spot up because he got down. They don't do theirs like that. So what happened was Chris Rock went down there and blew the spot up, paying LA prices when he should have been paying Sasua prices. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then while he was down there, apparently it was T.O. and a couple other people that Stephen A was talking shit about, and they called him down there. And
so this was like last year.
This was like a few years ago, yeah. But if you don't know the story, you ain't gonna hear about it. But yeah, niggas rolled up on him. They like, yo, what's up with you always running your mouth, da 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 da. And he ain't even cop a plea. He told him, hey, look, I get paid millions of dollars to piss y'all off. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, because the TO shit just happened last year.
I'm like, he was like, I get paid to piss y'all off. I hope you don't take it personal. We can still be friends, but it's big money and pissing y'all and pissing you off.
But see, it's not the fact that you're pissing people. It's not like you're just pissing any athlete off. You particularly are always pissing black athletes off. That's why people are feeling some type of way.
Because the Jewish
watch out, nigga.
No, you know what I gotta watch what I say before, because it's certain the people we discussed about, they own Disney. They write his checks. He gonna do whatever the fuck they tell him to do.
I know.
That's why. So to keep lambasting over the fact that he's always insulting millionaire black athletes, that's why.
Well, you know, he just got a new contract. You heard he just got a new contract extension, right?
Exactly. Why you think he got it?
Because over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, really, over the last 2 weeks, Stephen A. Smith done pissed some people off because of the OJ comments and BET. Now there's Jaylen Brown comments. People like, he done pissed some people off. And then he signed a $125 million contract. That's interesting. That's all I'm going to say. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Even when he came out his mouth on air with nigga please, he got a little slap on the wrist.
Well, Rob, we're not officially at conspiracy theories yet, but I did tell you the next on tonight's agenda is the interview with Dr. Umar Johnson. He was with the Breakfast Club. Got a lot of respect for Dr. Umar Johnson, but it's like whenever he start talking, like, as y'all know me, y'all know I'm a nut. Pause. Y'all know I'm always gonna make light of everything, but Dr. Umar Johnson sounds so much like that reparations brother who's also a deacon in a Baptist church at the Second Baptist Mount Zion Christian on the walls of Jericho on the corner of 5th and Jesus Christ and pay your tithes. That's the way. He'd be like, first of all, my brothers and sisters. He said, first of all, my brothers and sisters. My brother, he like, I just want to tell you something, because here at Reparation Institute, my niggas and bitches, I mean, my brothers and my sisters, I love them. I'm just joking, because I do. I love Dr. Umar. I love Dr. Umar. Because he makes you think. Like Brody makes you think. He really does. He really does. But it's just that voice, the way that voice sounds. It is like classic black power. But like sometimes some of the things he say, you be ready to laugh, or you be ready to go out and break somebody's fucking window. One of the two. But it be
exactly.
Yeah. It'd be one of the two. Oh my goodness. So I'm about to pull this interview up. I want to get your take on it. I'm about to get your take on it, or get y'all take on it, because Kia wants to join in. And Kia, you can join in wherever. You can join in whenever, because I'm about to do the Umar interview, and then next will be officially conspiracy theories. Boy, Rob, he about to blaze up too. Rob about to blaze up. I might have to crack the 80 proof. So you know, it is what it is, because now it's about to get really, really real up in here. So, all right. So I hope y'all are ready. Get ready.
Just blaze.
Get ready, because here we go.
It's good and it's bad.
Okay.
The good side is I hear from a lot of brothers who have gave up the bunny hopping. They send me messages, inbox, they stop me at the airport. So I do see the positive effect. You know, brother, I'm with a queen now. I see the difference. If I never listened to you, I would have never really evaluated my behavior. That's the good side.
Gotcha.
The not so good side is also get the hate mail from brothers who are committed to the bunny hopping.
Gotcha.
Right. And they can be very aggressive in their repudiation of my position. I was at the airport coming from Atlanta last week, and I don't know what they'd be expecting, but when I see a brother with his snow bunny at the airport, it's almost as if they expect me to approach them or something. Like we going through security, the brother with the white girl, and they looking at me like they wait for me to swing on them or something. I'm like, bro, it ain't that deep, man. Your life is your life. I still respect you as a human being. I just don't think your selection is in the best interest of where black people need to be headed.
May I add a disclaimer right quick before we go forward? I am in no way, shape, or form against interracial relationships of any kind. Not at all. I just want to add that disclaimer in case there's people watching and saying, oh, Brandon, you don't like interracial couples? I have no problem with it whatsoever. Everybody has the freedom to think whatever the hell they want to think. Any comments, Rob? You might have froze up. Okay. Oh, you got any comments, bro? I see you.
All right. Now we back.
Okay.
Now what was you
All
saying?
right, well, oh no, I was just adding a disclaimer saying that I in no way have any problems with interracial relationships. I don't. I just want to throw that disclaimer out there before I crack this bottle of 80 proof.
Hey, I just see some fat ass white women the last couple of weeks, or maybe I just need to get some out.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Okay, back to the interview. All right, fat ass white women and maybe need to get some. God,
that's all. But when I see them interracial couples, man, they look like they're getting ready for war or something.
Yeah, I mean, because of the things you say, they don't know what you're gonna say, what's gonna come out your mouth, if you're gonna grunt, if you're gonna say something. So they gotta prepare themselves.
Right. But see, the essence of the message is still love, though. So even if I disagree with what you're doing, we still family at some level, and she's still a human being regardless. So, you know, sometimes they'll come up to me as a couple, and I'll speak to them as a couple. And they may say, well, can you explain why you don't really agree what we're doing? And I'll do it in a very respectful tone. And I've never had an issue when we had those conversations. Right. So from where my perspective is, I'm like, yeah, I'm strong in my position, but I'm still leading with love. Right. So nobody should ever feel some type of way about seeing me in public, although they do.
I told you I was all the way in Zanzibar. I sent you the video, Dr.
Yes,
Umar. I was in Zanzibar, and a brother from Zanzibar was talking to me, and he was saying how much he liked a lot of the things Dr. Umar said. He was like, I just don't understand his position on the snow bunny.
It's a contradiction about how you cut the cake, because those children who are going to be black, how can you tell them be black and proud if you didn't make them with a black woman? You chose to incubate your seed in a non-African woman. How can you then turn around and raise those children to be black and proud when if you were black and proud, you would have chose a black woman to incubate your seed in? It doesn't make sense for the descendant of the slave to be planting his seed in the descendant of the slave master. Now, it's a complete contradiction.
What are your views? Has your views changed?
Allow me to intervene with that one comment. I said I agree with a lot of stuff that he was saying. Now listen to that. I don't totally agree with that comment. Because one, if you got to drop a black in you, you black. So you can absolutely be black and proud. Absolutely 100% be black and proud. So can't say I fully agree with that comment, because whether you have a black mother or a black father and the other parent is of another race, I mean, when Johnny one time, 12, Jake, whatever you want to call him, when they pull your ass over, or when somebody, when you on the elevator with an older woman and they clutch their purse, guess what? You still seen as a black man. So why can't you be proud to be black? What's up? Hey, Kia.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Robert.
He having some technical issues right now.
Oh.
He'll get back to you. He is. He be having. There he is.
Hey, Rob. What's up?
Hey, Kia.
How you doing?
No, your StreamYard sucks.
My StreamYard sucks. How come she ain't having no problem
I'm
with
blessed. How are you? StreamYard
I'm doing pretty good.
sucks. Hey, before this thing started glitching, let me just say this. There's some white women out there that will cook and clean and shut the fuck up. Somebody had to. Somebody had to.
He said there's some white women out there that will play their fucking position. Saying the sister want to play your position.
Absolutely not. Don't do that, Robert.
I'm gonna make that shit a short, bro. I promise you I am. Y'all look at that short tomorrow, my nigga. God damn it, I wish I had some sound effects over here. I would have did the record screech from Joe right there. He said that shit. All right, let me.
It needed to be addressed. But the room needed to be addressed.
But I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people out there who will agree with you 100%. That's all I'm saying. But it's just the way you just came out with it, blurted it out. I still got that. I still got that old CD where you was freestyling, Rob. Oh, anyway.
Don't let him do you like that, Robert.
No, I think it's hilarious.
Freestyling,
on
yeah.
mixed people, right? Because people will say, even if you have a drop of black blood in you, you're black.
I do the one parent rule.
Okay.
So for me, if one of your parents are black, you're black.
Okay.
Take Drake. If he identifies as black full time, he black. And that's never been an issue for us within the Pan-African movement.
Hold up, I gotta stop again. Okay, he said if you got one drop in you, you black. Then how can it be hard to say? How can it be hard to teach your child to be black and be proud? But then on the other hand, you say if you have one drop of black and you one parent that's black, you black. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? I'm not trying to nitpick, but do you see what I'm saying?
I feel like it's hard if that, like in Drake's case, he wasn't raised by his black dad. So, I mean, to that point,
Drake got other problems right now called Kendrick Lamar, but and he need to get his boys in Canada to stop jumping Rick Ross and need to talk about that shit too. The fuck was that about? But let's keep it at one topic at a time.
You need to find another chord.
What'd you say, Rob?
And not A minor. You need to find another chord to play and not A minor.
Oh my God.
Oh boy, this all I gotta do to fully get you out your bag is bring a female on here. God damn. Ever since Kia came on here, you just came out swinging. It's that cup in your hand.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's what we talking about.
I mean, yeah, but it don't make sense though. It really don't make sense because I just caught that because I wasn't really paying attention to that much, that portion of it that much. But now I'm listening to it, I'm really hearing it, and it's like that kind of doesn't make a little bit of sense. But I know Dr. Umar gonna drop the gems.
Going back to the beginning of time, we've never rejected the offspring of the union because nobody's responsible for how they got here. And so that's why Bob Marley, there's no contradiction for us. A lot of our ancestors were mixed race. Frederick Douglass, who I'm related to, it's no contradiction because you don't choose how you come into this world, but you still have the DNA of Africa within you, but you got to identify full time. That's where it becomes an issue with our Dominican Republic brothers and sisters, Puerto Rican Africans, Cuban Africans, because sometimes they will either completely reject their African ancestry, right? Or they may say, I do have African ancestry, but I don't identify as Latino African. I'm Spanish. You see what I'm saying? Or you look at what goes on between the Dominican Republic and Haiti, that whole intense light skin, dark skin, I'm African, you ain't African type of situation. We repudiate all that. You either black all the time or you black none of the time.
People think because you have such a love for black people, that for whatever reason that translates to hate for white folks.
Absolutely not. Because if that were true, why do I get so many requests for help from white parents?
Right.
Why do I get so many requests for help from Asian parents, Arab parents? They don't have a problem texting my phone saying, hey, can I pay this consultation? I need you to look at my child's psychological evaluation. I never get apprehension from white parents when they need my help on special education or mental health cases. You see what I'm saying? So if it were that bad, I would assume they would not be reaching out to me. They have no issue reaching out to me. And they don't go through a filter. They come direct. Even the snow bunnies. Listen, I know how you feel about that. I need help with my son. He's a white boy, blonde hair, blue eyes. Will you help us? Pay the fee. I got you.
And if you hated them, you wouldn't get.
Bingo. There it is. There it is. Man, we can talk about the white, the black, all you want to. Pay the fee. And I got you. Did I say something wrong?
I don't think Dr. Umar said anything wrong.
I'm just saying, pay the fee and I got you. So is it really about black, about white, or is it about green? Oh, this may become conspiracy theory sooner than we think, motherfuckers. All right. Okay.
Dr. Umar is pro-black and pro-green.
He's pro-black, he's pro-green.
Offer to help.
Why would I help them at all? You see what I'm saying? Some of them buy my book too. They say, hey, I know your book is towards black families, but the information in there, we can use it too. So
do white parents ever call you and say, hey, my white son or my white daughter is into this black boy or black girl, and we want to erase him from there? Do they ever call you for that?
No, I get the opposite. I get the black mother who would say, Dr. Umar, my son is bunny hopping, and it looks like he has a point of no return. Can you help me out? That's what I get.
Do you have a camp? Because that'd be cool.
I need a camp. That's a good idea.
So what they do
a
call
bunny hopping recovery camp. Bunny Hoppers Anonymous camp. I need a camp. That's not a bad idea. That is a very good idea. You just gave me an idea.
So when they do call you, how do you break
it? Oh my God, they be upset. Like, Dr. Umar, you taking a white girl to the prom, and I thought that was it. No. She's living with him in his dorm. No. They're about to move in together. No. She's pregnant now. What can I do? And the first thing I say to the black mother is, are you sure you did not model love or addiction to whiteness before your son? Because many of these mothers who have an issue with their son with the white girl got blonde hair, blonde weave. You see what I'm saying? The green contacts. Like, I'm looking at how you present yourself. You look like you're trying to be a white girl.
So to all you Pookeishas out there,
don't do that,
who wearing blue contacts and blonde wigs or blonde extensions, all you Pookeishas out there, don't get mad when your son go for Becky with the good hair. Don't be mad when your son go for Becky with the good hair. Any comments, Rob?
No, that's what I've been using the other phone for. I had to use the other phone so I can try to hear and wait for the lag so then I can comment. I think I heard some of that, but
I said this is what I said, Rob.
I heard what you said earlier today. I seen a girl black as night with a blonde wig on.
So what? Let her do her, please.
But you see, they'll say the girl will say, "I'm trying to be like Nicki Minaj."
She looked a hot mess, busted biscuits.
Girl, what girls y'all know be out here talking like that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a girl, so I can only get like.
Exactly.
But no.
That's how she was dressed.
I disagree with Dr. Umar with that. Like, I don't think just because your mom wears a blonde wig and green contacts don't mean she's trying to be white or modeling white. Like, that just might be her thing for right then and there. Like, that's how girls are.
So
so that don't mean if I go out and wear a blonde wig one week, I'm send my son off to the white women. Like,
but what the good brother doctor is trying to tell you, young sister, is that you're not directly sending your son out to the white women. You are psychologically, by looking like that, by trying to make yourself seem like the pretty light skin, you are making him going to want to say, "Ooh, look at Becky with the good hair." That's what I'm trying to tell you, young sister. So to all you Pookeishas out this bitch who wearing blonde wigs,
oh my God,
don't get mad when your daughter come home. I mean, look, the way I look at it is, in a racial relationship, all it's going to do is create another black baby. I don't give a fuck. All it's going to do is create another black baby on planet Earth in the United States of America. That's why these fuckers trying to ban abortion, because there are so many interracial couples, all they're doing is bringing more melanated children into the world. Holla at me one time for me. Thank you. All right, let me go back. Let's go back.
So if the mother is imitating whiteness, why wouldn't the son be attracted to it? Because your first love affair is with your mother, not sexually, psychosocially. So therefore, if I see my mother imitating white women, are you not indirectly through your behavior suggesting that I date white females? So I think a lot of black mothers have to really check themselves with regard to how they're modeling the fact that they believe within themselves as a woman that white women are more attractive.
Man, I want to ask you something Columbus Short said since we're talking about that.
Sure.
He said he got some heat for saying that black men are dating outside their race because most black women are raised by single mothers and absentee fathers and
That's
taught
where the
a
straightening
don't need a
comb
man
came from.
mentality. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, here's what I would say to my brother Columbus Short, and I'm a fan of his.
Hold on, Rob. Now you just posted in the chat that he's right. Why is he right?
Because, like you
don't
just
act like
said,
you don't.
indirectly, that's indirectly that's what's being modeled, whether you accept it or not. First off,
I don't think that is just
name
so
one black person.
superficial. It's
Hold on,
just
let him
very
let him finish. Hold
superficial.
on, kid. Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Name one black person that was naturally born with blonde hair.
There are Africans in Africa that are born with blonde hair, blue eyes. Y'all
Chris
gotta do y'all
Brown.
research.
Chris
Y'all
Brown.
gotta do y'all research. That's my whole thing. It's so superficial to say, oh, cause I saw my mom
Exactly,
wear,
because it's not a
like,
trait.
it's a superficial.
That's
Like I
in
don't believe that.
melanated people.
And do y'all not realize that black women are like the only race of women that can give birth to like a multitude of colors? Like for example,
That's because black women are the shit.
I'm chocolate.
Secondhand.
I'm chocolate. And when London was born, she was high yellow with blue eyes. Brandon, was she not?
Sure was. She was. Absolutely. But black women is the shit. Black women be the shit though. And I'm not shitting on any other race of women, but black women, just like black men, are the shit. Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Rob. Go ahead, Rob. Come on now.
Robert, you there?
Man,
is he frozen?
No, he there.
The elephant in the room is that
the elephant in the room is that you need to get a better fucking Wi-Fi connection.
some genetic traits don't enter into other into some
Rob, we waiting. You got us on pins and needles. What up, Leash?
You saw me lean in. I leaned in a little.
Yeah. Hey, Leash. If you want to join this conversation,
give me some backup, Leisha. It's like 3 guys against 1, including Dr. Umar.
Look, I'm not against nobody. I'm just saying.
I'm saying for the sake of like, it's a conversation about women and mothers, giving off this, subliminal white vibe to their sons, based off of their appearance. And
look,
it's weird. So it's kind of hard when I'm the only female.
In the same way.
Go ahead, Rob.
Just in the same way, if you listen to low vibrational music, you're gonna do low vibrational activities. What? If you mimic another race, you're going to start. You're going to get the outcome of that.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. So, for example, in Japan, they embody a lot of our Black hip hop culture in Japan.
It's not.
Like
it's
you
not.
See those guys. Hold on, listen. You see those guys over there. Even a female wearing Black hairstyles, dressing like this and that and that. You think they're subconsciously forcing their kids to quote unquote date Black women?
Answer the question.
Because like if you're gonna use this argument, like let it apply to everybody. Like it just kind of weird for Dr. Umar to say like black mothers, we gotta do better. We got like it's a hairstyle, bro. It's not that deep. It's a hairstyle. And half the time it's probably a wig, something you could take off, throw on. Like I'm pretty sure I've worn colorful hair before. Do I think my hairstyles is gonna affect who my son falls in love with? No, I don't. I feel like how we raise him will, but it don't have nothing to do with physical. Like I just think that's superficial. So
yeah,
that's
I'm
just my
wondering
point.
is Layla black or white? I never asked. Anyway, go ahead, Rob. Rob. Yo, I'm sorry. You're good. Go ahead. You're good. You're straight. You can talk, sir.
Do something to somebody. You know what I play? I play some Tupac.
We missed everything except for I play some Tupac. So go ahead, say what you said again.
If I want to get real, if I want to get real amped up before I go and do something to somebody, I'll go and listen to some Tupac, some real violent music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Much the same way when people want to go look at some porn, sometimes they want to look at some porn with some white people. Sometimes they want to look at some porn with some black people.
How did we get here?
Some people get turned on by looking at white women having sex. The point I'm trying to make is that
different strokes for different folks, bro.
you have to be very conscious as an adult of the images of things that are acceptable that you do around your children. Some people grew up.
Disagree.
They never seen.
I don't disagree.
Grew up, they never seen their parents drink. So the first time they introduced to some alcohol is foreign to them. They don't understand.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to choice. Like, we can't choose how we're raised, but we can definitely, once we're adult, of age to make our own decisions. Like, yeah, you would hope to use what you've been taught to help you out in life, but like, it really, honestly, it really wouldn't matter if my son dated a white girl. I don't care. No, let me stop lying. I do care. I do.
If a little boy live at home, with 3,
but it definitely wouldn't be because I wore a blonde wig. It's because that's who he chooses to love.
If a little boy live at home with
If a little boy lived at home with who?
If a little boy lived at home with a majority females and he always see women walk around with their titties and ass hanging out, he's gonna think that's acceptable.
I can understand that.
You're not lying, but you're taking the
if he see these women always putting blonde hair, if he always see black women always putting blonde hair, trying to look white, that's
welcome to Conspiracy Theories with Robert fucking Chandler. Rob, I'm gonna start playing the video again. So let's try to get the glitching. Let's try to get the glitching. I know it's StreamYard, but let's still work on it. I'm gonna play the video again.
Are you using Wi-Fi? If you're using Wi-Fi, you might want to sit closer to the router.
It's sitting right beside the router.
Well, that was clear. All right, let me get back to the video. We only played 7 minutes of the video, and we didn't have 25 minutes worth of conversation. That's all right. It's cool. It's cool. That would it fold.
Are we not all victims of the systemic oppression and injustice that racism has introduced into our community?
Yes, nigga.
So just as you have black women who didn't grow up with their father, you have black men who didn't grow up with their fathers or their mothers. In other words, why is it acceptable for the black man raised by a black woman without his dad to reject a black woman raised by her mother without her dad? I think sometimes black men can be guilty of a double standard where we want a perfect offering when we ourselves are not a perfect offering. And to that point, I think black men need to recognize the fact that one of the reasons we have so much conflict with black women is because we don't operate on a masculine platform with our women all the time. We tend to operate on a female platform. For example, when a woman gets angry, rather than you trying to understand your queen non-emotionally. So you can't have both people in a relationship with a low emotional IQ. Because if both people in a home, if you and your wife both have a low emotional IQ, if you and your wife both have a low emotional IQ, y'all going to argue over everything because nobody says, I am not going to emote over this. I'm not going to deal with this with feelings. I'm going to use reason and intelligence. That's what the man is supposed to do. Yeah. But guess what we do? Raised by single mothers, many of us, we reflect right back to them that emotional trauma that they throwing on us. So in essence, you have two females arguing, although one is in a man's body. Black men have to start being masculine and less feminine. All this cattiness, this back and forth between black men and black women on the internet, that is feminine and feminine. Masculinity don't operate like that. Masculinity wants to understand where the woman is coming from. Masculinity wants to then intervene, study himself, evaluate his behavior, and try to level up to where she needs him to be. But arguing back and forth with women as a man, that's anti-masculine behavior. What we really need is some testosterone shots. We need more testosterone because black men are mimicking female behavior emotionally, and they're not even recognizing it.
I know a lot of women who have high emotional IQs who don't get caught up in the petty back and forth.
Yes, sir.
Either.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But normally, more often than not, it's supposed to be the male. Sometimes the woman does have that, which is good, but that also speaks to the fact that the women are becoming more masculinized and the men are becoming more effeminized, not in terms of sexuality, but in terms of personality.
All right, now this is where this is going to get weird.
Oh my God.
Yes. This is where this is going to get weird.
Why is it getting weird?
Oh, shit. And when I say this is going to get weird,
What happened, Robert?
This black bastard gets off the damn joint. Ain't this a bitch?
He might wanted to like restart it.
No, I know that's what he did. I know that's what he did. I mean,
how you feel about what Dr. Umar just said?
I don't disagree with him, to tell you the truth, because hey, look, I can sit here and say myself that there have been times that I have been very emotional in relationships and when we were married. I was very emotional, and that even goes back to when I was a teenager, in teenage relationships. You know, when I look back at some things now, I'd be like, man, was I acting like a bitch? Not necessarily in terms of my not necessarily in terms of my reasoning for wanting to for the disagreement, whatever it may be. You know, I don't disagree with Dr. Umar said, but the only statement that I would have is like, what do you do when you're dealing with a person who at times is not reasonable? And I'm not throwing no shots when I say that. But what do you do? What do you do when you're dealing with a person who at times is not reasonable, when logic and common sense totally goes out of the window because you're overwhelmed with emotion?
Didn't he say it? Did you not hear what Dr.
I heard what he said, but he did not address
smart enough.
He did not address what I just said. Hold on, Rob. He did not. Hold on, Rob. He did not address what I said as far as the part of when you're trying to talk, you know, because there are situations where he said the man should try to understand where the person is coming from. And what if you're a person who is trying to understand, because a lot of men have been in situations where they have tried to understand where the woman is coming from, and for whatever reason, you know, the other person is not reasonable. They're so caught up in emotion. He doesn't address that. He just says what we should do, but every situation is different. You can't sit here and say, and like I said, I don't think he said anything wrong, but you can't sit here and say that, okay, every man should be doing X, Y, and Z when every situation is different, because every man doesn't have a woman who is going to abide by that standard. Go ahead, Rob, because you was trying to talk. Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, no man should ever argue with a woman. Number one, our voices will never get as high as a woman's. So you might be right, she might be dead wrong, but you are never gonna out yell and scream a woman, because that's something that I had to learn, and I like doing numbers and logic. That's one. Number two, if you're talking with somebody, another man, another person, and you get to the point where you're not getting through to that person, you need to walk away before you catch a charge, they catch a charge, or something before it gets physical. And sometimes women don't understand that. It's like, and I learned that growing up, and I do that now as an adult. But now the third thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We in the melanated community, we're gonna have more relationship issues because it's normally gonna take both of our incomes to make the household run, especially after you have kids. So now what they've done, they devalued the dollar, they threw the woman in the workforce, then they made her to be equal to the man. Now, don't get offended, but I got to say this.
Uh-oh.
We all have we all have we all have roles that we need to play, right? There's a reason that they don't teach home economics anymore. Not in a derogatory way. Value in it, a woman could sit at home and manage the household, which is a job. Managing the household is a job if you do it right. You see some women that do that super couponing. That's managing your household. If you for a woman, if she married and trying to figure out how to get the roof fixed and get a discount, that's home economics. They don't part. And it's not that a woman's place should be in the home. It's the fact that they devalue the dollar. That's what the problem is.
I'm glad you cleaned that up, my nigga. I'm glad you cleaned that up, my nigga.
When only one person. When one person could work and the other could focus on the children primarily, yes, let the husband go work. Yes, you have the.
Okay, so he's having technical issues again. He's having technical issues again. Go ahead.
He went off on a tangent. I lost my train of thought. I don't know. He lost me when we started talking about the dollar.
I'm gonna say this. No, I'm glad he cleaned that up because he was sounding kind of cavemanish right for a hot second.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, you know, it all really like I'm just so over blaming how we were brought up to like excuse behaviors. I did that a lot, and it took life to teach me lessons to realize that, you know what I'm saying? The only finger I need to be pointing is at me. Because at the end of the day, I made the choices I made. So like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and y'all are having a disagreement and one person, you know, is being rational and the other one isn't, you know, at this point, if you know you can't get through to this person, your best bet is just to walk away.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like that to answer your question, because you said Dr. Umar didn't answer it. That's just my opinion. I think you just should walk away.
The best example that I can give for me, honestly, as far as what he was saying of things that you should do, the best example that I can give is my most previous my most previous relationship. When I tell you, like, I never even raised my fucking voice. I didn't raise my fucking voice. I said what I needed to say. I tried to make points that I tried to make points that I needed to make. I was being rational, and it was a person who just prided themselves, and a lot of people out here do this. They pride themselves on being petty, on being vengeful, and you know, I said this to her, and I'll say this to anybody who cares to listen. If you ever think that being petty is the best way to go, you will always find yourself back at square one. And, you know, I felt like, for one, look, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to let nobody get me out of my element anymore, because, well, as much as I can, because for one, I mean, real talk, like, I had a fucking stroke, you know, all of that, the back and forth drama and shit, that's not good for me from a health standpoint. And like I said, on the best example I could use is my last relationship. Is, you know, I didn't say anything disrespectful. You know, I was totally a man about mine. I didn't engage in any of the histrionics or none of that stuff, and got me a fucked up apartment. But I mean, it is what it is. But again, that's why I said there's some people out there who are just irrational, and they pride themselves on being that way. But let me get back to the interview, because he gets on a political point where that I didn't finish seeing, that I definitely would like to talk about.
Way that we are engaging each other in the back and forth male-female thing. If we want to get real basic about it, you're dealing with two traumatized people who have not healed themselves, and now they're trying to make a healthy relationship. Two unhappy people cannot make a healthy relationship. It is impossible. You cannot get water from oil. You can't get oil from water. If she's traumatized because her father abandoned her, and he's traumatized because his mother chose her second husband over him, you got to deal with those unmet childhood issues. Most of us are still dealing with unmet childhood issues, and we're giving the responsibility to our partner to heal us from demons that can only be healed with our parents. My wife can't undo what my mama did. I got to work with my mama. Your husband can't undo what your daddy did. You got to work with your husband. But because we don't want to go back into the pain, because we've often eliminated those people from our lives, we just say, you know what, I'm going to have to work on this with my husband. I'm going to have to work on this with my wife. They can be a support for you, but they can't be the solution. We have too many spiritual vampires floating around the Black community. These are emotionally toxic people who don't present themselves as they are to the opposite sex. They present their social self, their psychological mask, and you don't realize who they really are, Envy and Charlemagne, until somebody gets pregnant, y'all move in together, get married, or get engaged. The whole time y'all were dating, it was perfect. You said, I've been dating my queen for 10 years. We never had an issue. Get married, divorced in 6 months. You know why? Because once y'all moved in that house together, your ego no longer wants to lie to her, Envy. Your ego no longer wants to lie to her, Charlemagne, and her ego doesn't want to lie to you. So now you start seeing things that you never saw 10, 20 years when y'all were dating, because in close proximity, the ego drops its mask.
Damn. Dr. Umar ain't playing today.
Yeah.
Listen, let's get to it. There's a lot of things to talk about. Do you think President Biden should step down?
Do I think President Biden should step down? I got a couple answers to that. On the one end, presidents don't make the final decisions anyway. So because they are puppets, it really wouldn't matter if he stepped down or not. However, from an optics perspective, his showing against Donald Trump in that debate didn't look good at all, even though they're only 3 years apart, right? On the flip side, I'm not too sure the Democratic Party is ready to anoint Kamala Harris as quote unquote commander in chief, because as you know, in the post Barack Obama era, the last thing poor white America wants to see is another black person as commander in chief. So I don't think they necessarily want to go that route. They don't have to. There's others as well. But at the end of the day, both men are extremely up there in age, because I don't want to be a senior shamer, if you would, right? Because seniors are just as capable intellectually, many of them, as those of us in our age bracket. At the same time, they're still the two oldest men to ever run and rerun for president of the United States. But you know what? Doesn't that also speak to the weaknesses in both parties?
That's right.
If Joe Biden is the best the Democratic National Committee has, if Donald Trump is the best the Republican National Committee has, what is that saying about the talent y'all incubating?
That's right.
Okay. All of that speaks for itself. Ladies first.
He's absolutely 100% right. I agree with him. Like, it's like at this point we're trying to choose between, what did I say, the two of
the lesser of two
evils. Exactly. That's how I feel about it. Neither one of them should be president.
Well, Rob is trying to restart again, and well, we both see it the same way, because I know we don't see this the same way. I should be the motherfucking president. I need to run for president.
We the people need to come together and figure out what we want to do come November. I feel like we give all the power to the government, and we don't realize that we have all the power. We only they only run us the way they do is because it's this false illusion that they control everything, when it's more of us than it is them.
Okay, Robert Chandler, you are back. This is your wheelhouse. That's all you're gonna say? You're just gonna type I agree?
Yes. Kia is right. There are more of us than there are of them.
For sure. We sick of this shit. What if on election day nobody fucking voted? What if we all sat
Trump
the fuck
just
home?
happens to be the face.
Go ahead, man.
What if we all sat home?
Yeah, she said, what if we all sat home? I know you got a delay.
Home, yeah. Actually, this has already been resolved. This is being played out so that everyone can see it and be calm and see that it's done fair, and that Donald Trump didn't pull any shenanigans. I'm a true supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. But Donald Trump just happens to be the face of it. If you put a ham sandwich in his place, I would be a supporter of a ham sandwich, right? I'm after the truth. The truth of the matter is these people stole an election. That's the truth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they put in the place. This person, he's an outsider. He's an outsider, and they don't want you, Kia. You know how to point out how many times you done seen liars get pointed out, and what do liars?
He must be about to drop a bombshell, because that's when they start glitching.
Do when they trap,
they probably lie more.
Is that correct? Okay, all right. There we go.
We done seen it. Too much.
They both liars. They all work. They all in cahoots.
Now. They are. So they convicted Trump on some bullshit charges, and that opened the door. Now they going to go dig in some more shit behind Hillary Clinton. Everything they doing set precedence for them to go back and try everybody else for the same shit. When we can separate
statutes of limitations,
the color, the color and the anger from the situation and
Sir, you know, you look like you're trying to give somebody a kiss, right? Okay, there you go.
y'all
Now,
are
if you can
parents.
separate the color from the what? Okay. All right. Hey, boo, what's up? Rob, okay, you separate the what?
So I
The
know
what? Okay, Rob, hold that thought because we're going to get back into it. Just hold that thought. I'm going to put the video back on. Hold that thought. Hold the thought. I see you back. I see you back up live now. Hold that thought.
So what do you think about, blacks loving Donald Trump so much, shaking his hand, kissing his hand, rubbing his back, saying we support it? What do you think about that?
Slave master syndrome, white Jesus syndrome. We don't care if the white Jesus wears red or blue. We don't care what side of the aisle that they're on. You know, Black America suffers from battered spouse syndrome envy. And what battered spouse syndrome speaks to is the fact that no matter how bad you beat me up, if I believe I need you in order to survive, I'm never going anywhere. And part of our problem, part of the equation to our problem as American Africans, why we don't do anything on our own, is we are often waiting for the great white savior to come. This is a message that has been rehearsed for us in church. We get it in the media. We get it in the Black community. So Black people will never, ever abandon their hope of a white savior coming to save them. Donald Trump has no record whatsoever of saving Black folks. When people ask me, who are you going to vote for? At this point, neither one of them are going to get my vote. I considered Cornel West because I love Dr. West. Intelligent, strong, good-natured, but he's a bunny hopper, so he can't get my vote. Now, when I come back to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I look at the fact that Donald Trump signed 13 federal death executions while he was president. More than half of them was signed after Joe Biden won the election. Think about that now.
That's crazy.
Biden gets elected in November, sworn in January. Between that time, Donald Trump executes half of those 13 people. 5 of them were Black men, and 2 of those Black men were presumed innocent. And the attorneys had introduced a stay of execution to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court turned them down, and Donald Trump executed those brothers. So when I hear Black men say, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's going to bring more money and economic vitality into the Black community, I say, what about the fact that he's out here killing Black folks, you understand, without no remorse at all? Signing those type of federal death warrants. 2 brothers was murdered within 24 hours of each other. One of them was 40 years old, and he was the first person to be murdered in 70 years for a crime he committed as a teenager. And in one of those cases, about 6 of the jurors said they would have changed their decision on the death sentence had they knew the information that the prosecution had withheld from them. That's why the attorney wanted to stay of execution to give the defense time to reformulate an argument. In Supreme Court, Snow Bunny, Clarence Thomas, and that crew said no, and Donald Trump signed his life away. So you got to look at that. You also got to look at the fact that Donald Trump wants to give police 100% immunity.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Look how they're killing us now.
Right.
So now you're telling me that anything the police do in their line of duty, they cannot be held accountable for making bad mistakes and bad decisions. And you want to put that back in office? That's thirsty Black men worry more about money than the lives of their people.
That's right. The Supreme Court is corrupt.
Yes.
Illegitimate.
Absolutely.
How come enough people not talking about that?
Because I don't think they understand the tripartite nature of American so-called democracy. The Supreme Court, the president.
For sure.
Again, this is something I want your opinion on. The I didn't know about the execution when it comes to when after the 2020 election was over, the execution of people, of Black people. What do you think about that?
Of course not. Of course not, because you gotta look at it. What was Black people thinking about when Trump was leaving office? Him freeing all the rappers. How many rappers he freed when he left? You know what I'm saying? Kodak. Oh, he let my nigga. All this other stuff. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? He executed 13 Black people. It's a smoke screen, and we fall for it every time. We as a people, as a Black people, like Dr. Umar said, we got to do better as a people. It's ridiculous. We allow people to, what Eddie Murphy say? We fall for the banana in the tailpipe all
We're not gonna fall for the
time.
banana in the tailpipe. We're not gonna
all
fall
the
for
time.
Yeah. Hey man, we're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
We do it. That's exactly what we do.
Rob, did you know about these executions that happened after the election of 2020?
Hey. We don't own Black music. We don't own Black music. We're just the culture. We don't own it. We don't name one Black artist that puts out a record without one of the big record companies. That's the problem.
It's a couple of them. Some artists are are independent.
First
They
of all,
don't have a
Master P is the one who broke through with that in '98. But go ahead. I was asking you about the people who were executed after the 2020 election before Biden was sworn into office. Did you know? I mean, what do you think about that?
Wait, it's a glitch. I can't hear.
Okay,
I said
what?
The glitch. Delay.
Okay. Okay, what do you think about the people who were executed? Okay.
What do you think about who was executed?
All right, let me run this back. Let me run it back. Let me run
you
it
gotta
back.
see the video.
Let me run it back. Okay, no problem.
On our own is we are often waiting for the great white savior to come. This is a message that has been rehearsed for us in church. We get it in the media. We get it in the black community. So black people will never ever abandon their hope of a white savior coming to save them. Donald Trump has no record whatsoever of saving black folks. When people ask me who you're going to vote for at this point, neither one of them are going to get my vote. I considered Cornel West because I love Dr. West, intelligent, strong, good-natured, but he's a bunny hopper, so he can't get my vote. Now, when I come back to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I look at the fact that Donald Trump signed 13 federal death executions while he was president. More than half of them were signed after Joe Biden won the election. Think about that now. Biden gets elected in November, sworn in January. Between that time, Donald Trump executes half of those 13 people. 5 of them were black men, and 2 of those black men were presumed innocent, and the attorneys had introduced a stay of execution to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court turned them down, and Donald Trump executed those brothers. So when I hear black men say, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's going to bring more money and economic vitality into the black community, I say, what about the fact that he's out here killing black folks, you understand, without no remorse at all? Signing those type of federal death warrants. 2 brothers was murdered within 24 hours of each other. One of them was 40 years old, and he was the first person to be murdered in 70 years for a crime he committed as a teenager. And in one of those cases, about 6 of the jurors said they would have changed their decision on the death sentence had they knew the information that the prosecution had withheld from them. That's why the attorney wanted to stay of execution to give the defense time to reformulate the argument. In Supreme Court, Snow Bunny, Clarence Thomas, and that crew said no, and Donald Trump signed his life away. So you got to look at that. You also got to look at the fact that Donald Trump wants to give police 100% immunity.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Look how they're killing us now.
Right.
So now you're telling me that anything the police do in their line of duty, they cannot be held accountable for making bad mistakes and bad decisions. And you want to put that back in office? That's thirsty black men worry more about money than the lives of their people.
That's right. The Supreme Court is corrupt.
Yes,
illegitimate.
Absolutely.
How come enough people not talking about that?
Because I don't think they understand the tripartite nature of American so-called democracy. The Supreme Court, the president, and the Congress, they actually have equal weight, right? Well, they did. But now what the Supreme Court just did was they gave the president a few days ago absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for decisions made in office and carrying out his constitutionally protected duties. That's very dangerous, because what that says is the president can never go to jail, even if he commits genocide, if it was done in an act of office. So let's say hypothetically, Donald Trump or Joe Biden sends the National Guard into New York to quell a black protest, and the National Guard, God forbid, ends up executing 5,000 of our brothers and sisters who were protesting peacefully. Even though it was ordered by the president of the United States, he cannot be held accountable for that. Why? Because he did it in discharging his duties as commander-in-chief. So we don't no longer have a president. We have an emperor. We have a czar. We have a king. Because what the Supreme Court just did is said the president is beyond reproach and the president is beyond the reach of the law. Dangerous.
Yeah, and I feel like enough people aren't having that conversation.
They're not having that
It's weird
conversation.
to me. Like I understand, talking about Biden and his bad debate performance.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I even understand talking about Project 2025, even though it's a hypothetical.
Okay. Rob, I understand that it's fast. If you want to watch on Facebook, go ahead and watch on Facebook. You heard me? Oh, we frozen again. Well, Kia, go ahead. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with Dr. Umar. The Supreme Court is out of control, but you got to look at it. Donald Trump set it up to be that way when he was in office the last time. He appointed a couple of the Supreme Court justices. Brett Kavanaugh, I think, was one, who was very controversial. in his views. And Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing. He was playing chess the whole time. The whole time. Now, after he did all this wild, crazy stuff, the same people he put in those high places are now pulling some or putting in some favors for him. Like they said, they made the decision with a 6-3 vote. That means 6 justices was like, yeah, let's do it, and 3 was like, nah. And I'm pretty sure of those 6, I'm pretty sure the majority of them were put in office or put in place by Trump. I'm gonna have to fact check myself, but I'm almost positive about that. So,
all right, you back, homie? Okay, we're typing in the chat. Okay, all right. All right. Well, I'll get back to the video.
What's happening now?
Yes.
And nobody's having a
Yes.
conversation.
And for black folks, it don't matter if it's Trump or Biden. The bottom line is the president of the United States, none of whom have ever been friends of the black community, will have the ability to do what they want as long as it takes place within the execution of duty. They cannot be held criminally liable. Now, here's my thing. I wonder what are the repercussions of that on the world court when you're dealing with genocide in the Geneva Convention. So are you saying that the president of the United States cannot be held criminally responsible for crimes of genocide against humanity? That goes against the whole Geneva Convention. So I'm wondering what the UN and what the world court has to say about the Supreme Court's decision.
What are your thoughts on Donald Trump currently, and in particular the agenda that is Project 2025?
The Project 2025 reminds me a lot. Remember the Newt Gingrich contract on America back at the turn of the century? It kind of reminds me of that. It is very dangerous, but when I look at Project 2025, a lot of it is already being carried out.
Yeah.
So they want to eliminate the Department of Education. I think we talked about this probably my first visit to the Breakfast Club, where I spoke of how the U.S. Constitution does not give your child a right to an education. The word education is not in the Constitution, but many people feel like educational taxes or their taxes that go to education is too burdensome and cumbersome. And they're saying, why do I have to pay school tax when the Constitution doesn't even give nobody a right to get an education in the first place? So why am I paying for this? So a lot of people want to phase that out. Remember, when you go to white America, half of white America either don't have school-age children or don't send them to public school anyway. So they want to completely blot out the school tax. Not only that, the money that still remains, they want to redirect it to not charter schools, to private schools and parochial schools, which, to my understanding, is a violation of the separation of church and state. How can you give public money to the Catholic school? But that's what they want to do. They also want to shut down Social Security. They also want to completely eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion laws and bills. But I got to say this, though, because the Democrats are pretty hypocritical, because when you look at what Governor DeSantis is doing in Florida, and when you look at the fact that you got 18 states that have already passed laws to eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion program, that's a third, right? Why aren't the Democrats pushing back against it?
That's a good question. Why aren't the Democrats pushing back against it?
Because they're all in cahoots. That's why. This is like honestly, watching our United States government feel like a setup. Just if anybody has paid attention to just the clownery that has been going on in Congress alone since the beginning of the year, particularly, like, I feel like we being set up and we too busy fighting one or the other, Biden, Trump, red, blue, whatever the case may be, and we not realizing they're two wings on the same bird at this point.
Okay, Rob, you said you want to talk. Go ahead. Floor is yours. I just hope it doesn't glitch. We'll be quiet.
The problem that we have in this country is that you can't wrap your mind around the concept that you don't have to work. You don't have to work. You shouldn't have to pay a light bill. You shouldn't have to pay a damn water bill. You don't need a driver's license. See, when you understand these concepts, then the idea that you want to collect Social Security, why would you want to collect Social Security? You don't need that. They are trying to hide the natural gift of this land to us humans, to us God's children, and the Sarah Gesera. That's what 9/11 was about. They did all that. That's the same. They did all that with 9/11 to keep Nasser Gasser from coming out. What would your life be like if you didn't have to get up and go to work in the morning? Don't let these people scare you with all these dumb nonsense ideas. People like him, and they use him, and he's a tool. They use him to scare black people. The same thing. He's just another a fresher version of Al Sharpton. Am I getting Social Security? Yes, I just started getting Social Security. I'm getting it now. I use it. But I know what's really supposed to be happening. They want to call it, oh, it's UBI. UBI is bad. Nobody's going to work. Don't let these people fool you from your gift that what's already ours, not what's given to you. Is what's been stolen from you, the knowledge. See, when a motherfucker owe you, they're not gonna tell you they owe you. They're gonna just play stupid. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have the problems that we have in this country, because we have government operating in places that it shouldn't be operating in. They use the police to enforce policies, codes, and statutes, which are not laws. So they break their own rules, operating under the color of law, and operate under the color of law anyway. That's where all our problems come from. And to circle back, that's why they pit women against men to create confrontational situations in the home. All of this, it plays a part in their macro and micro economics.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll go back to the video. I know. Eventually, Tony is going to want to jump in. Okay, I feel you. I got you.
President Biden was reportedly stated that he will not push back against the Republican effort to eliminate all DEI programs. So doesn't that make you complicit in the removal of the DEI? See, what the Democrats do that black people tend not to catch on is they'll let the Republicans play the bad guy. That's right. Because they can't afford to lose the black vote. So although we don't support DEI ourselves, we're not going to be the ones to front this. We're going to let DeSantis and the other mavericks go out and do this. But guess what? We're not going to push back against it, so it looks like it wasn't us. It was you, because silence in the face of injustice is complicity. And that's why, as far as I'm concerned, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are two wings on the same bird. And the one question we never have: when are we going to organize the black vote before we vote? That's right. If you
That was powerful.
Period.
Powerful.
They're all in
very
cahoots.
Powerful.
They are all in cahoots. And it's
Now,
like
listen.
the thing. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say real quick, the thing that bothers me with this country, it's not even a race issue. It's a people thing, right? It's like we're too busy. They're like fueling the fire, right? They're throwing gasoline on the fire. You know, we going back and forth. We not realizing, like, if we stop fighting and work together as a country, as a United States, and give that same energy to the government that we giving each other, we could really see some change in this country.
What do they say? There's strength in numbers. I mean, that's been my whole problem with both sides anyway. That's been my problem with both sides anyway, is that, to me, they're both used car salesmen. They both have an agenda. And at the end of the day, if the people actually rise up, you know, they're going to be on the same side. It's like the Head of State movie. What did Chris Rock say? I mean, what did they say on that movie? They said, with the government, we can do anything. As soon as shit didn't start going one way, they reverted to the other party. And there was, you know, I cannot disagree with that. Now, listen, I'm about to bring Tony on because I want his opinion. But Tony, I can't leave you on here while I'm playing the video. 4 people on here will make this thing virtually impossible to play. What up, dog?
Yo, what's going on?
Like I said, go ahead and say what you're gonna say. Then I'm gonna have to remove you because it's
so
gonna be.
I've spoken before on Dr. Umar, and some things the brother says is right. Some things the brother said is categorically wrong. He doesn't have the market corner because he was quite simply wrong about DEI. The problem with DEI, just as with the whole CRT, just as with the mask mandates, all of these things, states have their own constitutions. So the governor can decide what's best for his state. Ron DeSantis with the DEI and the CRT banning DEI amongst the schools in Florida is his prerogative under their state constitution, and the United States president can do nothing. They appealed it. It went to that same stacked Supreme Court, which is 6-3. Trump only appointed 3. The other 3 were already there. Trump appointed Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Coney. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the other 3 were already there, Clarence Thomas and Alito. These are old school Bush appointees, Bush senior appointees.
I was going to say,
and they were always conservative. And this agenda to ban, to dismantle Roe versus Wade, it's been like 40 years in the making. They just finally got the conservative situation and got a platform. This was not Donald Trump's platform as much as it was Mitch McConnell's platform. That's the reason why him and Paul Ryan went ahead and backed Trump, because they figured, useful idiot, we can get the courts stacked like we want to, which is always the Democrat mistake. They ignore the courts and just always go for the presidency, not realizing the courts decide X, Y, Z in most cases. You're seeing that with the Supreme Court now. He was absolutely right about the executions. That, yes, Joe Biden won the election in November, but the transition period doesn't happen until January, and they killed them black men during that time. He pardoned his friends and killed them, the people they wanted to kill. That's what Trump did. So I agree on some level, but in his statement about why didn't the Democrats push back? Well, you can push back all you want to in your state as a representative, but once it gets to the Supreme Court, sort of like Roe versus Wade, what you going to push back on? They're the law of the land. They have as much power as the president. So, that's really all I have to say about that. Like I said, some stuff he says I agree with. Other stuff, he's not given the proper context or the actual information, because you can speak out against it, but at the end of the day, the governor has the keys to the state based on the laws. And then if you try to push back on a technicality, all they're going to do, and this is what's happened with everything that anybody has pushed back on, they run it right to the Supreme Court. This is the very reason why Trump was saying, I want everything to go to the Supreme Court. He said it when he was stacking the courts, that ultimately the Supreme Court was basically going to side with me on everything, and that's exactly what they're doing. So that's all I really have to say about that.
He cleaned the courts up.
Because he what?
He's pointing out the injustice in the justice system.
No, he's not pointing out. He's hustling the system. The same way he hustled carpenters and painters and ain't pay them. He's hustling people. That's all that is. The Supreme Court is not owned by anybody. It's neither supposed to be Democratic nor Republican. It's supposed to decide the cases on the merits that come in front of it. And yet, every time you hear Supreme Court, you hear conservative judges, conservative. That you're advertising their political party. Liberal judges. That means they're Democrats. So we don't have that.
Hillary, and this whole boomerang is a problem now, ain't it?
You can go ahead and take me off screen. I didn't come on here to debate. I came on here to talk about Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar was spitting facts, and I ain't got time for conspiracy theories.
Okay. So, if you want to stick around backstage,
yeah, I'll stick around and listen. But I only came on to address what the context, what the subject matter was coming out of Dr. Umar's mouth. So there's that.
Well, that's all I brought you on for. Okay. All right. Well, if you want to stick around backstage, go ahead. I'm about to start the video. Rob, what were you saying? Rob, what were you saying? We cannot hear you.
We have to. I'll be trying to wait for the glitch. We have to get to a point where we get past the color. As long as Kia, you were saying something before. These are the Republicans and the Democrats. These fuckers are working together. They're working together. They're hiding their agenda. They are the ones that are shaking up the goddamn jar. And they're using black faces that people are comfortable with, like fucking Umar. Because I'll throw his ass under the bus with his school that still ain't finished. Why he pointing out them white people, them white devils? How many of them white devils still let his ass slide where they should have been locking his ass up? So of course he's another minion that has to get out here and just like Stephen A. Smith, throw some more black people up under the bus so they'll throw his ass in the clink.
Boy, shit just got real.
He got
on
taxes
here,
that he need to pay. That he got taxes with people that gave.
Hold on, Rob. You're glitching up again. Look, let me start the video and put your comment in the chat. Put your comment in the chat just because you're glitching again, bro.
You notice everybody tells us to vote. The politicians, black businesses, the fraternities, the churches. Vote, vote, vote. The Urban League, the NAACP, Congressional Black Caucus. Vote, vote, vote. Why do you think nobody never says organize the black vote before you vote? So we vote as a block. So politicians know we're doing this as a people. You know why? If we voted as a block, Envy, we could hold people accountable. See, if I vote as a block, I can hold Eric Adams accountable. I can hold Brandon Johnson accountable. I can hold Kamala Harris accountable because she know we went to the polls as a people, united in oneness. But when you vote as individuals,
hold on. Who are those dudes that he just called out? Hold on. Wait a minute. Damn it. I went too far. Hold on.
Things on the same bird. And the one question we never have, when are we going to organize the black vote before we vote? Right. If you notice, everybody tells us to vote. The politicians, black businesses, the fraternities, the churches. Vote, vote, vote. The Urban League, the NAACP, Congressional Black Caucus. Vote, vote, vote. Why do you think nobody never says organize the black vote before you vote? So we vote as a block. So politicians know we're doing this as a people. You know why? If we voted as a block, Envy, we could hold people accountable. See, if I vote as a block, I can hold Eric Adams accountable. I can hold Brandon Johnson accountable.
Eric Adams is the mayor of New York.
Eric Adams is who?
The mayor of New York City.
He is the mayor of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just curious.
Who was the other guy? I didn't hear it.
Brandon Johnson?
I think he might be the mayor of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think, okay.
Yeah. I think
Hold on. Tony, who is Brandon Johnson?
That's correct. He's the mayor up in Chi-Town.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, I got a side thing about the taxes and things about Umar Johnson. It's kind of weird that subject came up about him not paying the taxes or whatever. But let me see. Wait a minute. On appeal, ain't it like $300 and something million that somebody is got to pay? I don't know who that person is. Who is that person? Y'all know?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, it seemed like that. Seemed like a dude that's like been not paying taxes for years and years and years and years and years. But when he doesn't pay these taxes, he's a smart businessman. But lock Umar up because of taxes? Really? I don't know about that. I can't imagine that he owed $300 and something million worth of stuff. But what do I know? Again,
$300 million.
Huh?
You saying Donald Trump owes $300 million in taxes?
Yeah. That's on appeal. That was the case. That basically was the whole kit and caboodle, undervaluing those properties up in New York. when it came time to pay the taxes, overvaluing when it came time for him to benefit, and he was doing it for years. And so at the end of the day, the judge found him guilty and liable, and he 300 and what it was initially $500 million. But there was no way he was going to be able to put that money up, because in the state of New York, you have to put that money up during your appeal. And he went to another court, and that court knocked it down to a manageable number, and he got the money together, because otherwise they were going to close all the businesses and this, that, and the other in New York. So that's the status of that case. People have forgotten about that. That happened right after he was found liable for sexual assault and had to pay her all that money. That literally was like, what, 2 weeks after that?
Okay. All right.
So that's the status of that.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna start the video. I'm gonna start the video up again. I want to get Rob's opinion real quick, and like I said, Tony, if you want to stick around, just hang tight.
Man, if he glitch again, put me back in, coach. I ain't glitching.
Okay.
That's I mean, I'm just saying it.
I got you. No problem. I got you. Yo, Rob. Oh, damn it.
He put a hex on the stream.
Rob. Yo, come back on, bro. Start and restart. Let me know.
When are we gonna get to the conspiracy theories?
We didn't partly been into fucking conspiracy theories.
Oh, I thought we was gonna be talking about CERN and.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I tell you what. Look, I tell you what. Do I need to take a break from this video?
I mean,
okay, Rob. But let me remove this video for a second, Rob. Ask the question you wanted to ask him.
Robert, you heard of CERN, right?
I'm here.
We can hear you, Robert.
We can hear you, bro.
You've heard of CERN, right?
God damn it. All right.
If you want to put the video back on, it's totally fine.
No. It's okay. Because I know he's gonna come right back.
Okay.
Hold on. Tony, ask him the same question.
Ask Tony?
Yeah.
Oh, if you've heard of CERN and the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Listen, I was brought on for conspiracy theories. So
I mean, the truth is out there. X-Files, right? I guess.
You know
but
what?
That's some really, go ahead and talk your truth about that conspiracy theory.
The reason why we brought it up is because the other day I mentioned to Brandon, I was like, if someone offered you money to move out of the country and they would pay your travel expenses, they set you up with a home, they set you up with a stipend, you get like monthly allowance, whatever the case may be, and a job. I said, would you go? And I believe, Brendan, you said it depends on where it is, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Switzerland. And he was
I'll be gone yesterday. I will be gone yesterday.
The only thing is, because this is an actual legit thing, right? This is an actual legit thing. Switzerland is paying people to come.
I got to
move and to work there, right?
I'd be gone yesterday.
However, when I clicked on the link, one of the jobs, it was like 4 different jobs that were doing this opportunity, and the very first one in the link said CERN, CERN, and that's what kind of brought us to where we are right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rob, you've obviously heard of this place. What? Please explain what? Because the first thing Kia said, I'm surprised Rob hasn't put you on to that.
I did say that.
Yeah. So, Rob, what is this place about?
Yeah. CERN, what is this place about? It's not a place, it's a thing. These bastards done built the damn.
Why every time you about to
collider so they can speed up the
Okay, see, hold on, Rob. Before you say anything, this is where the conspiracy shit hits home for me. Because every time you about to drop something that I need to hear, your ass glitch. That's what make me. That's what make me rock into this conspiracy. He said, "Because I have a big mouth on the chat." You ain't motherfucking lying, nigga. You ain't motherfucking lying.
Never mind his glitch. The reason why I would do it because I'm curious about. I'm curious about. Well, I've always been curious about black holes. They're very real. All these things, they are what they are. Conspiracy theory. So you see in certain movies like what was the movie with Tom Hanks, the follow up to Angels and Demons, the follow up to the Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code,
Right, the God spark, and it's all about those particles and this quote unquote God spark, and basically having a pocket sized black hole or something like that. So I've always been curious about that, and this is funny because this goes all the way back to the Anunnaki. If anybody knows what the Anunnaki is, rumors about them being able to travel through different dimensions using these portals, which may be pocket black holes and all that. So my point is, your question was, would I move to Switzerland based on that? Yes, absolutely. They didn't say I had to go step through a black hole that they created. All they said was you're working for CERN. So I would do it because I would love to be there. If they discovered something like that, I would love to be there to see it. So yeah, I'd move.
That's right. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing. Didn't I? I said I would go to, yeah.
Hey Rob, somebody said on the chat, put a rod through your signal.
What is?
I don't know, but and didn't I say somebody gonna send me to Dimension X? You said go through through portals. I did. I said somebody gonna send me through Dimension X. I said what the fuck?
Huh?
The only thing is they got to be careful.
Why is that?
Well, okay, so they understand certain things about black holes. They understand what an event horizon is. But what would happen if you created a man-made and lost control of an event horizon on Earth?
The theory is
our galaxy.
A lot of people upset with CERN is that they could create a black hole on Earth and it end up like devouring the Earth.
yeah, because literally our universe, our galaxy is sitting. Our galaxy basically is on the outer rim. Is on the outer rim of a black hole. The Milky Way, like literally, we're just kind of circling around. It's like we're in this big ass toilet bowl.
Stopped them already.
We're in this big ass toilet bowl, and our planet, along with these other planets that we know of, our sun as stars, is just basically circling around the outside of the toilet bowl. But slowly, very slowly. When I say slowly, I mean billions of years, kind of slowly, being sucked into the Milky Way, which is a black hole.
Hold on, Tony. What were you saying, Rob? I'm gonna say what you're saying in your goddamn screen as you hitting the blunt. God damn.
Because he was about to say Hillary Clinton had something to do with that or something else. That's why he keep glitching.
Stop it.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. You see what be in them chats, so you come for me, I'm come back at you. He's great. We're talking pure scientific stuff, something real. So CERN is real. They're in the big picture. It's they're trying to figure this out. But yes, people should be. But I'm gonna say this about that: the same people that would worry about something like that, and rightfully so, once it got out there about the atomic age, the nuclear age, yeah, because that's something that could destroy this entire planet.
Yeah.
That's it. You got all these countries and they have all these nuclear weapons. And if one person decide they're gonna go ahead and press that fucking button, it's all over for all of us.
Pressing buttons. It's called mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction.
I've been saying this the entire time when we talk about this shit with technology. I've been saying that the demise of the human race is going to be because of the human race, because human beings don't know when to motherfucking stop. That's all I'm saying.
Not necessarily, sir. Not necessarily. This planet technically has been destroyed. All life, in practicality, mostly has been destroyed twice already in its history.
Actually, I think a couple of times.
The dinosaurs got it. The dinosaurs got it twice.
Okay, well let me put it more blunt. This era of the planet being destroyed is going to be because of human beings and their inability to not know when enough is the fuck enough. It's already started happening with global warming. Global warming is because of us. It's because of us. It ain't because of the fucking animals. It's because of human beings. So I'll leave that.
Actually, that's not even true.
Well, you can say
the first time all life on this planet almost died was because of global warming, and it had nothing to do with technology. It literally was too much plant life in the water caused the problem. Too much plant life in the water.
I didn't say about the first time. I said this time.
This time. I get you. I get what you're saying. That time it was natural. The second time it was natural. This is kind of manufactured and they see it coming but won't stop.
Speeding up the process.
Exactly. Now, Tony, do me a favor. Let me take you off for a second because I have to ask Rob a question and I want his undivided answer. So hang tight backstage. I'll bring you right back.
Hey, look, I was talking about CERN and I heard him in the background, blah, 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 Hillary Clinton and blah, and Nancy Pelosi, and she worked for CERN, and that's what I heard.
Okay. All right. I'll bring you back. All right. All I'm going to say is I'm good at what I do. All right. Mr. Chandler, you say global warming is BS. Why do you say that?
Whether or not you're good at what you do, that's debatable. Global warming is bullshit. Okay? Now listen. I'm 47 years old, right?
Right.
These motherfuckers wanted to tell me when I was in fucking Swift Creek that there was a hole in the ozone and the motherfucker was only over Chesterfield County. There's a hole in the ozone and it's only over fucking Chesterfield County. It ain't nowhere else. The only hole in the ozone.
Who told you this, Robert?
Every time we want to find out, he glitches up. That's what a conspiracy theory.
The ultimate cliffhanger. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's only over. It was only over Chesterfield.
And he said that like 30 seconds ago. Hold up, Rob. You back, homie. You back.
Hello?
Come on, you back. Okay, it was only in Chesterfield County.
So listen. Is a tax. It's a tax
What's a tax?
It's a tax. Global warming is a tax. They're lying to you. Oil, listen, oil is plentiful. You cannot, the earth will always produce oil.
Okay.
Oil is an abundant substance that this planet is always going to do. Once the powers that be, this group that I can't say on here that we already talked about, once these people, they set certain individuals into to create certain industries to stay in control. As long as there's an idea of lack in a human society, I can always create.
Well, okay. Kia did not agree with everything that you said, so please tell
I
us
don't
why.
know about. I mean, this just could be me, but I'm almost positive that like the oil you said oil, like the oil, earth is always gonna make oil. I think like the oil we use, don't that come from fossil fuels? Like it's only so many fossils, right? Am I
No,
understanding that correctly?
no, no,
All right. Well,
no.
school me real quick.
Our science, and what they taught us is wrong.
I can
Our
believe
science
that.
and what they taught us is wrong.
Okay. Well, let me
So
ask you
they
this.
gotta
Mhm.
teach you the science wrong. They gotta teach you the science wrong so that you hold the line. Especially, and don't take this as an attack, but they especially want black women. If you look at how this I don't even know what they call it, and I'm not down in black women, but they use black women as as part of their authoritarian arm, because if you gonna look like a real petty fucking fool trying to talk back and talk down to a black woman, and they do it on
They do that
purpose.
anyway. Nobody cares.
So I'm
I'm
not
just trying to
saying that black. No,
we just I don't mean to stop you, but I'm so confused. I'm a little lost. We was talking about global warming and stuff.
we were talking about global warming, and you were talking about CERN. What these people
Okay,
do
you circle back.
is they intertwine. They intertwine what each organization's um, job is to do. Everybody works for CERN. They just don't know they work for CERN, but they work for CERN in different ways. How do I know this? My research told me that there were FBI agents that were able to access CERN on. And the only way to get to Lake Geneva, you gotta have a certain badge to be able to swipe through.
Whoa. I need you to back up a sentence or two. I need you to back up to that the FBI did what? Because you froze up. FBI did.
There are FBI agents that have access to CERN that can go right
Why?
in
Hey, literally all I heard was CERN, CERN, CERN. Say it again, because FBI agents have access to CERN because of what? God damn. And I know it's not Robert. This is where the conspiracy shit gets real, because I know it's not Rob. Because every time he about to say the shit, he freeze. Because literally, the last time he froze up, all I heard was CERN, CERN, CERN. Just like that. And now his goddamn screen gone. God damn. Every time he about to say, he said, I'm getting on an electric bike. I'm coming to your house. What?
I'm all down for a good conspiracy theory. I like to get my brain going and do these thought experiments and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, will we ever really know the truth? I mean, maybe, possibly, but I don't know. And
Rob,
as
you're more than welcome to
as
come through now. I'm sorry, kid. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. As far as global warming is concerned, anybody who don't believe in global warming just need to go outside for a sec. It's hot.
As a bitch.
It's hot, and it's getting hotter. Did we not forget last year was the hottest summer since they began recording, weather?
Listen,
like it's been the hottest summer on record.
Listen,
and
listen
just
to
here
what I'm telling. Listen to what I'm telling you. And now I'm a really get your brain scratching. We thought we saw an eclipse. We did not see an eclipse.
What do we see?
We seen another celestial body that they didn't want, that they ain't never told us about. That's what the hell happened. And I know for a fact, because I went outside and seen the shit myself, and I seen the damn moon, and I still seen that damn eclipse happening.
What?
I ain't see no damn moon. Usually, if I'm not, I could be mistaken.
Wait a minute,
but I'm almost positive that eclipses
But I
usually
digress.
happen.
Go ahead, Kia.
Okay.
These people are doing.
I say go ahead, Kia, and your ass start talking again.
With our
I say
weather,
go ahead, Kia.
And our
Okay, so I don't know what moon you saw in the sky on April 8th, 2024, because that was the day of the eclipse. I was hyped about it. Yes, I saw it myself. But eclipses usually occur, solar eclipses usually occur during a new moon. And that means the moon is not usually visible in the sky. So when I looked through my solar glasses, I saw the sun and the moon. Now, do I believe that it's possible the government could be, doing things in the sky, trying to block certain things out from our view? Yeah, I do believe it. I wouldn't put it past them, but I damn sure don't think it's something big enough to eclipse the sun. We would see it during the daytime with no eclipse. Like, if it was that big and that close, we would see it with our own eyes. They couldn't hide it from us unless the damn sky is a hologram. Like, we would see that. So, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think the whole
they change.
Go ahead.
If they change the times that we look in the sky, one of the first things I think we got to cover, like, the moon is not real. It wasn't always there. Something or someone put it there. That's fact.
Have you seen that movie Moonfall?
Right? We've always been being surveilled.
Of course, the
Like
Bible
Tony
tells you about
pointed
that.
to the Anunnaki.
The
When
Bible
you start
tells you about
touching
that.
on
The
the
Watchers.
but see, that
The Book of
there's
Enoch.
another
The
problem
Watchers.
there with the Bible. They don't tell the story in a way that we can relate.
See, now you're getting biblical and you freezing up.
So I'm about to say, don't get me started biblically, because I love that. I love that type of stuff. My whole thing, as far as the
I'm
Bible
about to give me an electric bike. Don't worry about it.
Get you a what?
Electric bike, so he can come over here, so that way he doesn't have to worry about his StreamYard glitching. He could just come over here and sit next to me. I ain't mad at it, bro. You're more than welcome. Just know that you got to take your ass home at the end of the night. Now,
As
go
far as
ahead.
the Bible goes, and people
They have been lying
like questioning
to
its authenticity, you got to look at it. You got to do your research, because what a lot of people
I'm
don't
gonna drive
know,
home.
what a lot of people
They
don't
have been
know.
lying to us.
Robert, let me finish.
Hold on, kid.
Look,
It's not.
but
It's
hold
kid.
on.
It's
First
not
off,
because
let's
he's
get
trying
back.
to interrupt you. He has a
Global
delay.
warming. Global warming is bullshit.
That's right.
It's us.
Yeah, kid, you just have to realize that it's not him interrupting
We
you.
are the carbon
He's
that
probably
they're
on a
trying
20, 30
to
second
eliminate.
delay. See?
Yes. 20, 30 second delay. We are the
go ahead,
carbon
talk.
that they're trying to eliminate. They are after us.
Okay. What I will say is,
And not only
I
are they
advise,
after us, they want our children.
God damn.
I would advise everybody
what
to
pissed
do
me
their
off.
own research. Don't listen to these Instagram posts. Get off of TikTok. Get your ass in the library and start reading books. That's where we're going wrong as a people. We're getting all of our information from people who. Am I glitching too?
No, you're not glitching. No, you're not glitching.
Oh, okay.
Let Yasmin say, let Kia finish. Then wait for the delay. I'm sorry that you're going that's happening. And anytime that you want to come over to do a Friday show, you're more than welcome. But let her finish. Go ahead saying what she's saying, and then you go ahead and comment.
Yeah. So I mean, basically what I'm saying is, a lot of times we getting our information from, the wrong sources, and there's a lot of misinformation out here. So that's why when I say do your research, it's important for people to get their asses in books, because it's a lot of people online who think they are expert in every fucking thing, everything, okay, and they're not. So we're sometimes we're regurgitating things that we heard because in some way or form it resonates with our thought beliefs in the beginning, and so we tend to lean towards that. But and I'm all down for conspiracy theories, but I have to do my research, because I don't believe niggas be lying. I don't believe everything people say. I don't. I have to find out for myself. And as far as the Bible is concerned, what people don't realize about the Bible is that it was taken from scrolls from different people over the course of, like, I think it was written over the course of like I want to say between like 800 and 1,000 years. I could be wrong on that number, but let's just say a bunch of people wrote it during a long period of time. So when it became all of these books put together in one book, what started to happen, because you got your different Bibles, you got the King James version, you got the New International version, the this, the that version. People go in the book and edit it to fit their narrative. Like King James, for example. King James, when they wrote the King James Bible, he took out a lot of things that he felt was irrelevant and that people didn't need to know this information because it was too controversial or whatever the case may be. So there has been a lot of information left out. But what people need to do is go back to the original text. Y'all need to start getting in these libraries and looking up these books about these scrolls and stuff for yourself, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, where they found most of the Book of Enoch in there. The Book of Enoch contains a large portion of stuff that's not even included in the Bible that most people read on a daily basis. Stories like the Watchers, they left those things out on purpose. And it's like, instead of, us truth seeking, so to speak, we just kind of take it in all in as fact. So there's a lot of things that have been added, like King James. Like, for example, there was a story, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the story of what did Jesus say? It was a story, long story short, there was a part in the King James, it's gonna come to me, where Jesus had said something, but in reality he never actually said that. King James added it in the Bible because he thought it would help drive the point home.
Are you serious? So that's what the LeBron James version of the Bible did. That's just like national media.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying don't, for people who believe in, because I believe in Jesus Christ.
Look,
I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying not believe, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Take just the overall message and the vibe and the feeling of the book, but not everything literal. And unless you're looking at the original scrolls.
Mario Vespucci.
Huh?
We ain't gonna touch on Mario Vespucci. We're not gonna touch on the Mario Vespucci.
Pause.
Vespucci.
I gotta look this man up. Mario.
Or the fact that he had an artist commission. Every time I talk, Mario Vespucci, he was one of the lords. He had a picture of his son commissioned to be painted, and that depiction has become the face that's we know as JC.
From
we can just gloss over so the thing don't.
Never mind.
No, you.
So, what Robert is touching on, because I'm familiar with what he's talking about.
You know, the list.
It's just flying right over everybody's head. Okay.
This what happened. King James
LeBron
wanted to divorce his wife.
Savannah?
Constantine to make the changes. That's what happened.
Okay.
So we got, that's why we have a mix of Roman and the pagan and mixing it and calling it Christian.
First of all, y'all gonna leave my son out of it. Roman ain't have nothing to do with this. Okay.
I promise you wouldn't celebrate. If you knew what Christmas was, you would not celebrate it.
I've heard that before.
So what Robert was talking about the painting of Jesus Christ by Leonardo da Vinci, the man in the picture, the image of that man became the face of what everybody looks as what Jesus Christ looks like, right?
And he looks
anytime
like
you
that.
see, a white man with long brown hair and a little beard, it came from that original painting by Da Vinci. But the thing is, the man that Da Vinci painted I believe, was his gay lover.
Whoa.
So we're out here. I watched a documentary on
So
I'm
we've been
pretty
out
sure
here
it was the
worshiping a
History
fruit
Channel.
pop.
Yeah, it was the History Channel.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
they were speaking on this. They were speaking on this, and they said that the image, that man that Da Vinci painted, was his gay lover.
That's
So
crazy.
every time people hanging up that white man on their wall, praising him as Lord and Savior, that's why God said you shouldn't have any graven image. Like, because who are we? I don't worship that man. Who is that?
Me neither.
Who is that white man?
White Jesus. So basically, the picture that are in churches around the world is a picture of a fruit pop.
Check this one out.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, the guy's name is Cesare Borgia, Da Vinci's rumored lover.
So I mean, okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you what.
Go ahead.
And that's who we out here worshiping as the Messiah.
Who is we? Because I mean, it says it in. But here's the crazy part. This is how the mind can be manipulated, because it says it in the Bible. Jesus has skin of bronze, hair of sheep's wool. I don't have hair of sheep's wool, so I can't do this. But you get what I'm saying. So the paintings are telling you one thing, but the scripture,
facts,
which is what you should be paying attention to the most, the scripture is telling you something different. The scripture is saying skin of bronze. Hello.
And that's why the Ethiopian Bible is banned. That's why the Ethiopian Bible is banned, because it's gonna give a description of what he really looked like.
And I'm pretty sure the Ethiopian Bible also includes an additional. I need to start getting these numbers. I wasn't prepared for this, but there's a huge number of additional books included in the Ethiopian Bible that's not in the Bibles that we have. I mean, we can have access to them, but these ain't the Bibles they passing out in church. These ain't the Bibles they handing out for free when they walk to you on the streets.
Not at all.
Okay, there's a lot of missing information, and the thing about it is, you can get an idea. Somebody can hand you a bunch of puzzle pieces, right? A puzzle that's not put together. And by looking at each of the pieces all scrambled, I mean, you can kind of get an idea of what the picture is, but you don't get that picture until you put all the pieces together. And that's what they're denying us. By taking out that information, they're denying us the whole picture. But it's us as a people. Jesus said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We don't seek for our own selves. We just take it as, okay, yeah, all right, cool. All right, cool.
Look what
and we gonna be our own destruction.
I've been saying that.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Ethiopia. Okay. Roy, Rob, say what it is that on your mind.
So, and watch how I bring this back.
Bring it back
to the CERN.
Bring it back, nigga.
These people, they're not people, right?
Right.
They've come to this planet jumping through portals. So there are certain places on terra firma where we see these sightings because the way the planets line up and how they jump through portals to get here. So here in North America, it's gonna be more of the south, that southwest area, like a Nevada, Arizona type area.
Yeah.
You got places in Europe. You got places in South America. So that's how they get here. So they're jumping, right? But get this. This space is not like a black outer space. The space that they're jumping is right here where we are.
Right.
We're on a we're on a honeycomb. Yeah.
You see that picture right there?
And see, part of the reason why they had to change the faces is because the people that were in control at the time, well, when you win the war, you get to make the history and make the rules. And they could not see themselves worshiping brown faces being pale faces.
Well, this is an artistry of Jesus, Ethiopian artistry. And that's probably the most, even though that's animated, that's probably the most historically correct version that I've probably seen. Would you agree or disagree?
I would have to agree, but again, I like to look at not just what I'm looking at, but why I'm looking at it. And I want to challenge
And you want to challenge who? God damn it. Hold on, Rob.
I was told before and
Hold on, Rob. Hold on, Rob. Let me bring you back. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. You back. You back. Go ahead. Say what you're saying. You back.
I'm
Finish
about to order me an electric bike. I'm about to order an electric bike. This could be the end.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Hang tight for a second. Kia, I'm bringing you back. Tony, I'm bringing you back. Kia, you see this picture right here?
Yeah.
This is an Ethiopian artistry picture of Jesus and his gang.
Okay.
And what I was saying is that I think this is probably the most, even though it's animated, it's probably the most historically correct picture that I've seen.
They're older pictures.
Yeah, go look up Russia. Russia got pictures of Black
older.
Jesus.
Okay.
Look up Russia Black Jesus.
Okay. Now Tony, go. You agree saying that
So-
they're older pictures?
Yeah, they're older pictures. So there's a lot to unpack here because y'all just went on and on and on. So I'll just say this. As I said, this planet, Akia, welcome. Finally, somebody that actually is spitting facts. But this planet has already experienced the extinction level event because of global warming. So that's indisputable. And hot is hot, bruh. It is what it is. When you got places like Chicago going through entire winters without snow, the reason why the global warming deniers are out there is because they got their hands in the pockets of the carbon people, the people that make money off of carbon, the oil, big oil. So they gotta deny election to keep that carbon money flowing. So there's that. In terms of why FBI agents would be showing up and helping investigate black holes, well, because the FBI, they happen to have scientists and physicists and people like that on their payroll. So it would be smart for the FBI to be invested and be on site if something like that could affect the entire world. So there's that. Now, in terms of the Bible thing, okay, Kia, you're 100% correct about the Bible. The Bible itself is a book of metaphors, analogies, perceptions, because the writer saw what he saw or heard what he heard. And it's been written by many authors, and some of those authors are unverified. But the trip part is, in and of itself, it's a recycled story. This is why a lot of the players match religions prior to it, from Babylonia and Samaria and all of that. because it's just basically recycled. I won't get into the whole my belief, and this is I guess this is Conspiracy Theory Friday, so I guess it would be good to get into it. When you talk about God, angels, the Watchers, the Anunnaki, and this, then it's clear that there was something here or something. There was some beings that were more advanced than us here at some point. What they are, what they represent, we do not know as of yet, but it's clear that they were more advanced than us. And because of that, the perception of the people put a spiritual context to it, a supernatural theme to it, where it may not even be that. Now, I'm not implying that it's little green men, ET, phone home type shit, but if they can travel from planet to planet and influence a people to create civilizations, clearly they're more advanced than us. This universe, our planet is very young in the context of this entire universe. And in religion, whether it's Christianity, whether it's breakoffs of Christianity, whether it's Judaism, even Islam, we're all taught that God, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, Elohim, whoever you call him, loves this world. That we are the chosen people, but there's an entire universe out there with billions of solar systems and billions of planets inside them solar systems, but yet we're the only intelligent life that this creator of all of that loves. So clearly it's other stuff out there. We just haven't encountered it. Clearly this planet has encountered it. That's why Roswell Area 51 is so protected, because it basically, the concept of extraterrestrial life would challenge all religious concepts, and the entire world, really, our modern civilization is based on religion. Could you imagine if you saw the whole thing with the Da Vinci Code and the reaction to the Catholic Church, even though that was a book, it shook their foundations. You understand? And they've been in power based on that religion so long. So, that is what that is. In terms of Black Jesus, it don't take a rocket scientist. You simply read. Oh, one other thing about King James. You were absolutely right about King James. King James modified, edited based on his own personal morality and the culture at the time, and the influence of Constantine. Well, Constantine was a pagan, and he was also emperor, and so, but he was a pragmatic emperor. He didn't want war in Rome, so he decided to give both sides a little something. I'll let you worship here, and I'll stop them people from persecuting you, but you're gonna have to worship my way. And so,
don't that sound like LeBron?
What Saturday was Sabbath day became Sunday. Why? Because the sun god Ra, which is the pagan god for him, the Egyptian god. So Christianity was an amalgamation of both paganism and whatever it was prior to, because you might say it could have been Judaism, who knows, but it was amalgamation and basically a way to get peace and kind of make everybody happy, so to speak, to stop what was going on. And then it just kind of evolved, and some purists that didn't like that broke away, and then you had the Protestants and so on and so on. It's all, one big thing, but it's a recycled religion, and it's all a means of controlling the people, because no one really knows. But we do know that the individuals that were spoken in every iteration of whatever holy book you want, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, yes, Jews, the Torah, all them people were melanated people, simply because of regional. The Bible speaks of specific Ethiopian, Ham, the Cushites, Cush, look up Cush. Cush is modern day Sudan. How many pale faces, blonde hair, blue eyes you see coming out of Sudan? Think about Bobo and Luau Dang. Come on, Brandy. Them niggas black as midnight. So
they tar babies.
So the notion that the players in the Bible would have been other than people of color is kind of ridiculous. The Romans and the Greeks had to travel to get kind of involved with the Bible because it wasn't local to them.
They were out there worshiping
you
the
guys,
Greek gods over there.
You guys said that look up a Russian painting of Jesus. This is a Russian painting that I pulled up of
that would be it, sir.
their depiction of Jesus or Jesus or Yeshua or
Yahusha.
yeah,
Oh no, Yeshua. That's what they call him.
Yeshua. Okay,
that's his name. Yeshua.
You know, so that's the painting right there.
That's what people from Israel call Jesus in their books, in their language. His name is Yeshua. We call him Jesus.
Yeah, J is Y.
Yeah.
The Christo part, the Christ part, Christo part was added in the Council of Nicaea, where they formally deified Jesus. It's at that point Jesus became God, basically. The Trinity concept was created.
You know, one movie that you can actually get a lot of this info off of, and just not even paying attention to it because you're so enamored with the movie, is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Because their whole mission on that movie was going to get the Holy Grail. And it mentioned the proper pronunciation of God or Jehovah and, Jesus. Like, it was like all of this stuff is kind of muscle memory and how, Hollywood fucks with us and plays with us right in our face. That's deep. Like, I told you guys that this was going to be a very heavy episode, and y'all haven't let me down. Not even a little bit. I got Rob waiting in the background. Rob said he wanted to wait in the background. I wish I had to put him up seconds ago when this nigga was dancing, like he like acting like this nigga was Sexy Red or something like that, or Sexy Black, you black motherfucker. But forgive me, Lord have mercy. I am using this language with a picture of the Heavenly Father up there. Good Lord.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, because your religious affiliation is Christian. I know yours is, Brandon. Kia. Okay. Tell me about Islam. What is Islam? Ben.
So basically, Islam, they believe that is that mine?
No. Don't tell me what Islam. I said, what is Islam? Don't tell me what they believe. What is Islam?
No, Islam is
chirp noise.
Yeah, I mean, Islam is one of the one of the 3 Abrahamic religions.
Why?
Well, I'm not a Muslim, so I mean, but from what I'm familiar with of Islam is, they believe that, I guess, Muhammad was the chosen one, or whatever the case may be. Jesus was just like a prophet.
See, now you're going down river. That's what they believe.
All right.
I asked you, what is Islam?
I mean, it's a religion.
And so you said an Abrahamic religion.
Yeah, one of the 3.
So it spawned from Abraham.
Right.
You're correct. At its base form, it spawned from Abraham. Abraham had a son named Ishmael too, not just Isaac. And Ishmael and his mama, because she was the side chick, got kicked out of the tribe, got sent away. And they took that faith that they all had, and that's where Islam came from. The question always has been, was that the original belief, and then it somehow got perverted down the line of Abraham, the lineage of Abraham, or did it get perverted on the side of Ishmael? But we all know Ishmael was in fact Abraham's son, and Hagar, they got kicked out. What happened after that, whether they stayed true to the actual faith and Abraham's lineage didn't, or whether it was vice versa. Because the truth of the matter is, Islam is simply connotates peace. Being a Muslim is one who submits to the will of God. That's all. But the Bible and the Quran mirror each other in virtually every aspect except for the account of Jesus.
You and Rob would agree on that, because Rob put in the chat, Islam is peace and love.
And Jesus's role was in fact a prophet in Islam. So he played a similar role In the Bible, he's the Son of God. Jesus says himself, after I leave, after I'm gone, I will send one to comfort you. The Quran says the same thing, but it's not Jesus as it's Jesus as a prophet, as a messenger, foretelling someone that is coming. In the Bible, they left it as the Holy Spirit's coming. That's what was coming. That's who was coming. One will comfort you,
Day
the
of
Holy Spirit.
Pentecost, yeah.
In Islam, it was literally Prophet Muhammad.
Do I get the same question?
And he was the final prophet. So that was what Allah's, that it was going to be that many prophets, and he was the last one. Weird, right?
All answers, sir.
One other weird thing, you were talking about white Jesus and this hijacking of anything biblically related, and all of a sudden it becomes non-melanated. That's not the case with Islam. The entirety of Islam reflects melanation, the whole thing. There is no pale face, and this is a religion that goes all the way back to roughly maybe 80 years before organized, what you would call the earliest forms of organized Christian religion. So it's pretty damn old, and it's never been, the market has never been cornered by non-melanated, even though clearly in the world a lot of non-melanated people do follow that religion. I just throw that out there.
Sir, all answers can be found in that book.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That is not me speaking as a Muslim, because I'm not a Muslim. I'm just simply saying as a person who's studied all three religions, major religions, actually.
I'm not a Muslim either. But
and read the book. So I'm telling you, they are virtually identical.
You remember when I got this book? You remember when I got that book?
I remember.
And y'all got to remember, come on, Christians, y'all got to remember, God is a jealous God. I don't care what name you call him by. God is a jealous God, and says it plain flat out. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, with me, equal to me. None of that.
When you say God, are you talking about Jehovah?
God is God. I don't care what the names are. Our language. The names you refer to God is just simply language.
I got you.
That's all. But it still means the one above all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I think, and this is just my own personal belief, I think that's the point of faith. Me and Brandon was talking about this the other day. Out of all the major religions in the world, Christianity is like one of the most controversial. One of the most controversial. Even when you look at like the Buddhist religions and things like that, they all know who their God is. And since the beginning of that religion, their God has not changed. Why is it that with Christianity, we're left with so many questions? Like, we're wondering, we're trying to figure out. And you know, at some point, and this is just what I choose to believe, I just tune out all the noise.
I hope
and
Pastor
what I
Lance,
believe in,
I hope Pastor Lance Watson ain't listening. I love you, brother.
Hey, I grew up in a Methodist household, bro, that converted to Baptist. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something,
bro. I was born in a Catholic.
I studied theology. My great grandmother predicted I was gonna be a minister, and I didn't go that route, but I did study theology. And funny thing, John 3:16, that is the central point of all Christianity. John 3:16.
For God so loved the world.
Even as a teenager, when I read that verse, I interpreted it different than the Sunday morning minister was putting it out there. I interpret it as exactly what it says. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. This is when I was religion oriented. The translation to me was not that Jesus was a deity come to earth and he died for our sins, as much as I'm God. I'm going to create a flesh and blood son just like you, allow him to come to earth, walk amongst you, cry like you, bleed like you, sweat like you, and yes, work like you because he was a carpenter. And yes, have a wife like you because Mary Magdalene was in fact his wife, and then die like the sacrificial lambs that I asked you to sacrifice for me all up and through the Old Testament, just simply to prove that that's how much I love you. That's how I interpret it. I never interpret it as anything beyond that, because at the end, when you read Book of Revelations, where's Jesus? Prior to that, where's Jesus? Jesus didn't exist. God said, let there be light, and there was. God said, let there be Jesus, and there was. And at the end of all things, Jesus is sitting where? On the right hand of God. So what is God sitting next to God? Another form of God sitting next to God? It's kind of, that makes sense.
Well, there are some stories in the Old Testament where they refer to the angel of the Lord, and a lot of Christian believers and theologians believe that they're referring to Jesus Christ. There's also a story in the Bible about a king. I can't think of his name to save my life, but the king wasn't mentioned but maybe once in the Bible, and he kind of just disappeared off the face of the planet.
LeBron
A lot of
James.
theories say,
I said,
It's the book of Ezekiel, ma'am. Book of Ezekiel.
okay.
Where
Who's
it's a prophecy. You're talking about the foretelling of the King of Kings.
Okay, you ain't talking about the dude.
No, it was an actual literal king. It was an actual literal king.
LeBron James.
Stop, Brandon.
Hey, listen.
What did the king do?
Hold on. Before we get to talking about Ezekiel Elliott and LeBron James, we didn't got way too serious, and I can respect it. We didn't got very, very serious, so we can continue to be serious, but allow me to bring it back just for 30 seconds. For 30 seconds.
Some people wish to be a superstar, wish to have a fancy car, wish to have $1 million bucks. Well, I wish I know being in love. So feel me, pretty baby. I make one wish and I wish it all on you. Making love to the break of dawn, me and you to the baby's born.
Islam, Catholicism, Buddhism could not help that. Okay, let's bring it
What
back. All right.
What I was gonna say real quick, like if you want to get
Okay.
to the basis of it, literally all of these religions were taken from the Sumerian people. I'm pretty sure Muslim or Islam, Christianity, Judaism. Now the names were different, but the stories are exactly the same. And I guess the question is like, well, it's not really a question. It's like eventually we all gonna find out who was right and who was wrong. Like that's what it all boils down to.
You know who I
The
wish
names are the same.
Hold on,
The
Tony.
names are the same. Kia.
You know who
The
I
names
wish
are the same. Moses is Musa. It's just a different language, but they're the same. Jesus was Isa. The names are the same. Adam is Adam, as Adam.
Yo, I'm being so serious right now. Do you know who I wish could be in on this conversation? And kid, this answer won't surprise you. You know who I wish could be in on this conversation?
Your dad?
Yep. Mm-hmm. You got it. Y'all proceed. Because this was right up his alley.
But you know what they ain't ready for? You know what they ain't ready for, Kia? For real, you spoke on the book of Enoch. That's what nobody on this planet is really ready for, because if you really read into the book of Enoch, guess what? Anunnaki, aliens. Yeah, because Enoch was kind of talking about that. Yeah, his characterizations was based on his perception, but what do you really think?
I mean,
Ascended to heaven while alive, or abducted by the superior species?
yeah, it's
That's
definitely
heavy.
given. It's definitely
Heavy.
given. Alien vibes, and even like a lot of ancient alien theorists, ancient astronaut theories, and stuff like that. A lot of these people believe that the stories of all these old religions are basically people having extraterrestrial experience, and like you said earlier, Tony, just taking them putting a supernatural spin on it, taking it as God and this and that. But yeah, like Zachariah Sitchin wrote about it in his book called what was it? I think it was Chariot. What was the name of the book?
It was a chariot.
It was. Do you know it?
Yes.
If you know it, you gotta help me out here.
No, I don't.
All right, hold on. What was the name of the daggone book? I don't remember. Something about chariots. But the
Apollo's
overall
chariot.
Say what?
I said Apollo's chariot.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. But the overall, tone of it is that like these aren't gods. These aren't anything, spiritual. These are all extraterrestrial beings that came to this planet and pretty much, shaped and transformed it to like what we're having now. And a lot of people believe that those same beings are still here now. Like Robert was mentioning that the moon earlier in the conversation, he was mentioning that the moon is artificial. And I can't speak to that because I've never been there. But from what I've read, even some astronauts who traveled to the moon said that when they landed down and the rocket hit the moon, it rang like a bell for hours. Why would a solid object, a solid rock, ring like a bell?
I don't know about that, but then if you're going to believe that,
that's a UFO. That's a UFO.
If you're going to believe that, then you got to start explaining tides, and that means that this planet is being manipulated on a planetary level. Not just that, because you'd have to explain tides, you'd have to explain a whole lot of things, because the moon does influence all those things.
But if these are advanced beings, way far more advanced than us, we may not be able to understand how they make it happen.
They're demons.
It don't mean that it's not possible. What you say, Robert?
They're demons.
We all over the place right now. Some people think aliens are demons. I've heard that. I've heard that too. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I know what. If me and you took a big lighter and a flashlight and got in the DeLorean and went back maybe a couple thousand years, we be gods. Light sprang forth from Tony's hand.
Y'all ever seen in the Star Trek? It was the second Star Trek movie, and they went to this planet, and it was like these people who never. Yeah, Robert.
I ain't gonna say hey kid and freeze up.
But basically,
Star Trek 2 was I know what movie. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, with Christopher Pine. So they went to this planet. Him and Captain Kirk and Spock was trying to save the planet because a volcano was gonna like erupt and destroy the whole planet. So they went and deactivated the volcano. But in the process, these people saw them and their advanced technology, and they went from their religion that they've been doing all of this time to now they worshiping, the damn Star Trek ship or whatever the case may be. And the leader of the the fleet or whatever was very upset because it violated the prime directive, which is to not have any influence on underdeveloped civilizations or like baby planets and stuff like that, because you don't want to change the course of their natural evolution or whatever the case may be. So could it be that that's what happened here on Earth?
That's funny that you are blurred. You are a blurred through and through. Because no one ever I thought I was the only person that thought that you're warping. You're warping, and so you're going to be traveling through time and you're going to these civilizations. So yeah, you would influence them if you sat there and told them how to create this or that and the other.
Could it be? It's an interesting thought.
And you're blurred because you're talking about Star Trek movies. Ain't no good looking black woman out here talking about Star Trek movies.
Star Wars. I'm a nerd through and through. I don't care. I love it. Robert, what were you saying? It's not funny.
I'm not laughing at Rob. I just wish like none of us are glitching from the StreamYard, but I want him to not glitch. See, he's like this.
Oh, I'm gonna fix that.
What?
Hey, don't worry about that. You part Italian.
I'm part Italian. Allegedly. That hasn't been verified yet. What that got to do with anything?
Yes. Shit.
What does that have to do with anything?
Which, okay. So let me ask you, because I got to hear that. I got to hear I got to hear this. I got to see how much of a blurred you are. Then. So let's talk about multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Multiverse as it pertains to religion.
Yes, sir.
We going down a rabbit hole.
Let's try it. Yeah, and then, but I'll give you an easy one. Multiverse. Tie that into deja vu. Something we all have experienced.
You want a
Okay.
shovel, Brandon? I got shovels.
So there's one theory that there are literally multiple yous living out your existence at the same time.
Yeah.
Some are similar, some are completely different, but in multiple dimensions that are unseen to us.
Yeah.
And they say that when you get deja vu, sometimes that could be you getting like almost like a residual or like a little, like the dimensions are like, they're interacting with each other. And your deja vu could really be you, but not you. But you know what I'm saying?
Another version of you, another dimensional version.
She get the Blurred of the Year award, bruh. Because I asked you that was a trick question. I already knew the answer. I just wanted to see I said I want to see how much of a blurred you are. Yeah, you through and through blurred. There's ain't no way most people are not gonna know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm one of them people because deja vu is very real. And
absolutely.
If you can't explain it, I don't know that there's not another version of. I don't know that there's not a version of Brandon in some other multiverse, and really he plays the role of Stephen A. Smith in that multiverse. For all I know, yeah, I mean, there might be another version of Brandon, and he Jerry Jones in that reality. So you never know.
That's you.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Jerry,
I'm talking about you, bro.
You a Jerry Defender. You a Jerry Defender.
Hey, it's the multiverse. You could be anything in any multiverse.
I tell you what. Well, look.
So you don't know. Hey, in another multiverse, Kia might be president. She might be the first black female president. For all you know, that's just how that goes.
The only multiverse version.
In another multiverse, your ass might be LeBron James.
Oh, so I'm calling shots. LeBron James.
So,
I'm calling shots.
Calling shots and crying. That's your existence as LeBron. Calling shots and crying.
In another multiverse, you might be Jalen Hurts. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
It's an interesting thing, but it just shows.
Can the four of us agree? Can the four of us agree that deja vu is very real? Because I certainly agree with that.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm waiting for Rob, but I don't know if he's frozen or not.
This planet is young, bro. Mankind is young. This universe is old.
That's another thing. When I say that the cinematic stuff be smiling in our face, what did they say on the first Transformers? Mankind is a young species. That went right over our heads because we watching the movie. We not paying attention.
They drop nuggets. They'll drop nuggets in the movies.
Yeah, that's
Notice something funny. You ain't got to be a blurred for this one. Notice something funny. When Star Wars comes on, the very first thing it says, in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. So Star Wars took place way before the present.
Yeah.
We just behind the curve. We living in the Stone Age still.
And even no, go ahead, Rob. What was you about to say?
Bruh. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Every goddamn time
Since
he
I had
about
my
to,
little
huh?
Because he keep trying to tell us secrets. That's why they keep freezing him up, because he keep trying to tell us secrets.
I've been saying that the whole fucking time. Every time he about to say something legit, every time he about to say something real, the shit freeze up. Rob, this is your segment. This is Conspiracy Theories with Robert fucking Chandler. And your shit keep freezing. He looked like an Italian right there.
Hold on. I'm here. Just give me 1 second.
Rob, what you got? Come on, please unfreeze. Bro, I'm gonna have to put you on my phone plan or something, because I mean, goddamn, this is crazy. Because nobody else is glitch. You saying the StreamYard, but nobody else is having problems with StreamYard but you.
One thing was certain. I think that you need to rename this probably rename this particular podcast to Conspiracies and Conspiracy Theories to separate between the two things.
Maybe, but
yeah, because some conspiracies are very real, and one of the, I think from earlier with Umar, and one of my problems with Umar.
But see, that wasn't conspiracy theories. That was just we were just going
with Umar. It is with Umar. It is conspiracy theories, though. That's the problem. He blurs the line. He'll say stuff that's factual and then throw in stuff that's not so factual. And
I'm not talking about Umar's Breakfast Club interview. I'm just saying as far as this.
No, I'm talking about Umar. Period.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get that. But we hadn't technically gotten to the conspiracy theories part, starring my man Robert fucking Chandler, aka James Stanback. Rob, go ahead.
Since I had my little situation, I pray to manifest the things that I want. And I'm not gonna lie, I do astroplane to different people and time.
He just shifted right there. He shifted to somebody else.
You can astroplane. We can astroplane. We leave our bodies every night. When you
yes, I know exactly what you're saying. Yes,
when you close your eyes, you close your eyes. When you close your eyes, you leave your body. If you concentrate and you watch your diet, you can control where you go. If you focus and control your diet and watch where you go, you can manifest the things that you want to see in your life. We're like antennas. We're plants. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret that we're not supposed to know.
Right.
We are the only being that inhabits this planet that can change our mind in a millisecond.
Right.
We can be going one direction and make a split decision for no reason at all and go to complete other direction. We can do that.
No question. No question. Even though that you froze up, I'm just gonna say no question. God damn it. No question.
In our travel, and we can do that in
case in point. Case in point. There is one more video that I would like to play. Kia put me onto this. This was Rob. I'm gonna take you off right quick. Now this has nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but it's something that that has definitely been in the news. Last Saturday, Shakur Stevenson fought a fight. He's a lightweight champion in the world. The lightweight division, I said this in the boxing, as far as boxing news goes, the lightweight division is probably one of the hottest divisions in boxing. There's some unification fights that need to happen. I have to excuse the deepness right quick. But Shakur Stevenson's fight last week on ESPN was absolutely boring. It was a horrible fight. It was. And his last 3 fights have just been an eyesore to watch. While he's winning the fight, it's not entertaining. I'm gonna be honest with you. And Cameron, from if you watch the podcast, it is what it is. I've definitely been a fan of the podcast for over a year. As a matter of fact, 2 years, because I was a fan, particularly in football season when they would have OJ on and there would be them just going back and forth. Would be awesome. I have not seen this yet. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to act like I know what the hell I'm talking about with this interview. But this is me watching this for the first time with you guys. So let's see this.
So Shakur had a lot of things to say on Twitter after y'all's comments about his fight. It goes on for a span of about 3 hours. So I'm just going to read some of the tweets that he said.
All right, go.
Okay. So one, you know what irks me? When a nigga talk boxing but ain't never glove up. This man Mace and Big T and Cameron need to shut the fuck up. Them niggas have never stepped foot in a boxing ring. We got all types of entertainers gloving up. Tell these niggas glove up or shut up. Said half these niggas see me outside, they ain't gonna need a strap because niggas don't want to lock in with me. Y'all keep thinking niggas eat till you come across them in real life. And he said, fuck Mace, y'all niggas is crazy. I don't respect none of these bitch ass niggas and y'all ain't gonna make me respect them. Surviving Diddy ass bull. And it goes,
yo, yeah, you didn't tell me this nigga went that hard. I know you muted yourself right now, and I understand. You didn't tell me that Shakur went that hard at them.
Oh yeah, but you got to listen to Cameron. Just keep.
I mean, I know I got to listen to Cameron, but I mean it.
Yeah, he was really in his feelings, and the funny thing is, the way he was in his feelings, I thought he lost the fight.
No, he won. The fight was just
wild.
The fight was just boring. It was boring.
That's wild.
It was a horrible fight to watch. It was boring. I damn near I dozed off on the fight twice.
Wow.
No bullshit.
I'm sorry, I'm having some technical issues right now.
Nah, you good. So let me go back to Cam.
On and on and on. He said, y'all aren't really the voice of the streets. It's really $1 million worth of game because Gilly is the real voice. And it continues. No, that was a lot of cursing for me, y'all. I apologize in advance, but I got to get y'all's opinion on what he had to say.
Since it's all comedy, I'm going to deal with it like comedy, nigga. You hear that? Like I said, nigga, your mother named you after Shakur, nigga. You know I ain't had no problems with the first Shakur. I ain't going to have no problems with you. Chill out, little nigga. We got the right to have our opinion. And I say that with all due respect. You know, but just keep it where it is, man. Let humor be humor. Let everybody say what they got to say. You don't like what we said? Nigga, box better.
Yo, the thing that tripped me out was, ain't Mace still supposed to be a pastor?
I don't know.
Ain't Mace still supposed to be a pastor? But you know what? It's not even a fact of this is honestly, and I watched the fight. It's not a fact of Shakur needing to box better. He needs to be more offensive because he's what Shakur Stevenson is a spectacular defensive fighter. Shakur Stevenson fights the same brand of fight that Floyd Mayweather in the second half of his career fought. The difference is that Shakur Stevenson doesn't have the Floyd Mayweather personality to be able to sell the fight. He hasn't accomplished as much as Floyd did when he strictly became a mostly defensive fighter, because early in Floyd's career, he was knocking niggas out with the personality to go with it. Shakur Stevenson is not doing that. He's a immensely talented boxer. So when Mace says box better, no, he boxes superb. The problem is he's too defensive that it makes the fight boring, and he doesn't have that vibrato with his personality to make niggas want to keep tuning in to his fights, especially if they're going to be an eyesore. So let me go back to it.
Until you beat Tank, it ain't really nothing for you to say. And making threats, I'm gonna just keep it real. If we talking boxing, I got 3 knockouts in All-Star Weekend, nigga. So I got 100% knockout ratings, nigga, on All-Star Weekend if we checking the records, nigga. Killer, go ahead, man. I'm not even gonna be on that time with him, man.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see why they call you Shakur Twitterson. Like, my nigga, 4 hours of tweeting about me and Mace is wow. You boring, nigga. You boring. Everybody's seen it. We ain't the only ones who seen it. You boring, nigga. I thought I was rather polite about it. I thought it was cool. Niggas asked Teofimo, you seen the fight? He said, hell no. Why the fuck would I watch that? It went 12, right? Yeah, I knew it went 12. Tim Bradley, he's announcing the fight. He says, I got my coffee ready. Round 3, he's like, about time to start drinking the coffee before I fall asleep. He ain't say the fall asleep part.
No, he really didn't say the fall asleep part, but he did mention the coffee part. Yo, that's funny as fuck because they're not factually incorrect. Like I said, I watched this fight and I'm just like, I'm like, yo, can I get that fucking 50 minutes of my life back? Because it was a boring fight and Shakur needs to stop being in his feelings and either ante up the offense or use his defensive skills to beat one of these big name niggas. Because fighting niggas that are not, that people may have heard of, but are not on the upper echelon as far as boxing goes, ain't impressing nobody. Especially when you're boring.
But that's what he was referring to. Your grandfather's in your corner telling you to let your hands go. You won't let your motherfucking hands go but you scared to get hit. You want to swim without getting wet. It's just not going to happen, nigga. Now, what I will say, this is the most entertaining I've seen out of you in the last 2 years. This was kind of funny. This is the most entertainment we've seen out of you in 2 years. Congratulations, nigga.
Yeah, if the nigga put this energy into your boxing, nigga, and start letting your hands go, then you would be a pay-per-view star.
Yes. Well, that ain't going to happen right now. And that's just not going to happen. The last 2 fights, that's just not going to happen. The point being is this, nigga, you fighting more after the fight. You just had a fight Saturday. You're losing your damn mind the last 2 days. Trying to fight everybody on Instagram, on Twitter, everything else. Because we seen it. We seen it, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Then you talk about we should glove up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That nigga slap fire out you, nigga. Shut the fuck up. And you getting boxing in the streets confused, nigga. For real, nigga. Like, stop getting boxing in the streets. Those are 2 different things, nigga. That is 2 different things, nigga. Because when a switchblade or something else and everything, you talk about niggas better strap up. Why would you give niggas the heads up? You dumb motherfucker. Fuck out of here, nigga. You out.
Wait a minute. Hey, yo, I fucking love Cam, yo. Hey, that's not even Cam. That's Rico from Paid in Full talking right there. That is Rico all fucking day, yo. That is Rico. That is Rico from Paid in Full. That's real shit, though. You can't tell street niggas to strap up. They're not coming to see you with no gloves. Shakur, your hands are registered. When you are a professional boxer, your hands become registered weapons, which means if you fight somebody outside of a boxing ring and they charge you, you will receive a harsher penalty because your hands are registered weapons, as if you pistol whip somebody. So nobody's going to come and see you in the streets with boxing gloves on, my nigga. They're going to come with weapons grades above that. But just hearing Cam say that is funny as fuck.
Out your motherfucking mind. If you want to impress me, step up and wait. Fight Teofimo in Newark so he can knock your head to Irvington, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You ain't impressing nobody with all this Twitter talk, nigga. All this wild Twitter talk you talking. Who are you talking about? Secondly, let's get out. And that was firstly. Let's get to secondly. You're talking about niggas ain't legends. Nigga, Mace, I'll tell you right now. And I'm not talking about Mace when he came out and sold. Mace was Michael Jackson after Michael Jackson, nigga, before Drake, nigga. Nigga sold 5 million in 3 weeks, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? But I'm talking about tonight. Tonight, right now, Mace is a 1,000,000% better rapper than you a boxer. 1,000,000%. Don't make me put the battery in his back to Oracle 3, you nigga. I have him Oracle 3. That's what you need to do is Oracle 3 niggas, man. And let niggas know, my nigga, he is 1,000,000% better rapper than you a boxer, bro.
Yeah, because you don't got no offense. You all defense. You got the win. You got to let your hands go.
Secondly, when the fight's over, Mace, I went and watched it after I seen this ring. I said, let me pay attention. I kept dozing off, but I managed to get through a couple rounds. After the fight's over, he walked back to the corner like this. That don't look like a champion. Champs start walking around the ring diddy bobbing when they beat niggas up. Your grandfather, that's how I know what your grandfather, I'll tell you. They knew you fucked the bag up, nigga. You fucked the bag up, nigga. You was supposed to show off, show out. Not only that, you was talking shit before the fight. You was the one before, I'm gonna knock this nigga out. I'm gonna demolish, I'm gonna do all this. And you ain't do nothing you said. That's why niggas is mad. Thirdly,
yep.
You get booed in your hometown. Don't be mad at them. That's your hometown. How you get mad because you get booed in your hometown, nigga?
Yo, honestly, Cameron, I mean, and I know, Tony, you don't keep up with boxing like that, and Kia, both of y'all refer to my boxing reference if I'm talking about boxing. Cameron is absolutely correct because I said this before I started the video. The lightweight division in boxing is maybe arguably the hottest in boxing. You had Tank Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and Shakur Stevenson, who are all champions. You need 2 unification fights to happen. Shakur Stevenson totally fucked that up with his awful performance because we wanted to see him fight Tank. No, we don't. Not coming off of that performance. No, we don't. We want to see Tank fight Lomachenko. That's the blockbuster fight. That's the blockbuster a unification fight that I would actually pay to see. Cameron is not wrong when he says that you fucked the bag up. When you fucked the bag up, you did. Like I said, I watched that fight just like they watched the fight. It was horrible. The only way you are considered in the streets of boxing, and I'm serious, I've been watching boxing since I was motherfucking 4 years old. Been a student. The only way that you get your street cred as far as the boxing circle is concerned is you gotta use either you gotta bring your personality up, or you have to use your defensive skills to beat one of these top tier niggas. That's the only way. Because your visibility as a boxer, as a champion, stinks. It sucks. And Cam is not wrong with what he's saying as far as you fucked the bag up.
Yeah. You know why? Because you left too early. You don't know nobody.
Yeah.
You can't call a white bread in the building, nigga. Nigga, PT is in the building, nigga. We got project niggas with us in the building. Not saying they're in the project, but we got niggas who still affiliated
from day one.
Yeah, all we gotta do is make a call and be affiliated when it comes to Harlem. You know, nigga, I seen an old man. I can't think of his name.
And they're not gonna put us against Gillian Wallow.
No, that's another thing. First of all, if Gillian Wallow's the voice of the streets, they need to be that. We wouldn't be together without Gillian Wallow, so you wouldn't even put no battery in our back. Salute to Gillian Wallow for even getting us back together. That's first and foremost. I got a few more things to say. Let me stay on this topic.
Yeah.
You go home, you don't know nobody, you get booed, and then you tell niggas, I don't care what the fans think. Somebody need to tell you what to say, because obviously you don't know what to say. You never say, I don't care what the fans think.
No.
That's how you make your dollar.
Exactly.
So now you sit there and say, I don't care what the fans think. So niggas like, we don't give a fuck what you think. We ain't paying to see your fight. Now I don't care what nobody says.
I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to just leave it at this. The fans pay your bills. So for him to say that he doesn't care what the fans think is a very ignorant comment by what seems to be a very intelligent young man. In the sport of boxing, in the sport of any athletic televised competition, the fans pay your bills. Remember that, Mr. Stevenson.
It's always good to fight at home, give your hometown crowd love, even though they act like they didn't know you. But it hurts when you're fighting in Newark, which I'm not saying y'all don't deserve a good fight in Newark. First, the MGM, where Tank's fighting at. It hurts. It hurts. You're not a pay-per-view star. You know, y'all niggas was a little at the same thing, and that nigga just took off on you like a rocket, nigga, and it hurts. I get it. Secondly, after the fight, you said, I'm not going to focus on anything, but just go there and relax with my family. This does not look like you're relaxing. Are you relaxed? You're not relaxed, nigga. That's the last thing is relax, nigga. You're hurting. And I know you're hurting. You're arguing with everybody. It ain't just us. It's just that we the most polarizing figures, so to speak. So niggas
I
gonna
like
make a
that
big
polarizing
we polarizing ass
Yeah,
niggas.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
polarizing
So at the
thing.
end of the day, that makes you mad. You got all this information about some niggas you say you don't know. How you know all this shit about niggas that you be like, I don't know these niggas, they're not legends, I'm not gonna respect them in this, that, third. You think we respect you, nigga? I thought what we said yesterday was polite. I thought it was nice. I thought we said it the best way. I said, look, we acting like the nigga lost. He still won. It just seemed like he lost. Yeah, because it's the nigga, you're boring. Nigga, you might as well have lost, nigga. You might as well put the last 2 fights under L. You fuck that chicken up. Corporations want to put asses in the seat. And you can't do that, bro.
Nope.
Nobody's paying for. First of all, you're fighting for free.
Yep.
All you gotta do is turn the channel, you're on. Yep. We ain't gotta order it. We ain't gotta pay per view nothing. Nigga, flip the channel, that nigga on. There's no pay per view dollars. Lastly,
hey, did y'all see that? Hey, Stat was tripping. This nigga was going in and she was just tripping.
Free. All you gotta do is turn the channel, you're on. We ain't gotta order it. We ain't gotta pay per view nothing. Nigga, flip the
Hey, yeah. But again, he's not lying. He's not fighting on ESPN Plus or he's not fighting on ESPN pay-per-view. He's fighting on regular ass ESPN. Regular ass ESPN. And all the people who I'm talking about who he needs to fight is fighting on, well, shit, they don't have boxing on HBO or Showtime anymore. They're fighting on the Zone or better. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you can't see these niggas for free, but we can see you for free. That's a telling stat right there.
The channel, that nigga on. There's no pay-per-view dollars. Lastly, and I may have some more, but right now, for the time being, a couple things. It was some great entertainment that night. The nigga Mace told me about Abdullah Mason. You're lucky he was on the card. Sensational, nigga. Sensational. And your little man, what's his little man name?
Sean Davis.
Yeah. His Shakur little nigga?
Yeah.
The student outdid the teacher, nigga. Was he nice? He better than you, nigga. He better than you. And I know you ain't like me bringing up Cormel yesterday.
Just to tell the people who don't know, Keyshawn Davis, who they just said is from Norfolk, VA. He is a dog in the ring. He's from the same background as Michael Vick and Tyrod Taylor. Michael Vick and Tyrod Taylor. Keyshawn Davis is a dog. His fight, I watched his fight. His fight was wildly more entertaining than the main event. And that one only went 8 rounds.
Molten, nigga. Yeah, exciting. Lights out, electrifying. So everything you not, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Get the fuck out of here. Lastly, what I was going to say, Murder, is this. You keep talking about, how they legends, they doing podcasts, this and that. We make more money than you, nigga. We sit here and make more money than you. I know you don't want to play the Cash App, open your bank account game on the phone and see each other. I know you don't want to open your phones up and see how much niggas got in the account.
Why the fuck Mace did the more money, more problems shit going like this? What the fuck was that? Yo, cut it out. Cut it out, Pastor Mace. Cut it out. You showing out. That's crazy.
$2 million.
I know you don't want no ATM battle, nigga.
Nigga don't want to, nigga, we make more money than you, nigga. You talking about, they podcast. Nigga, because we getting chicken. We make more money than you. You better come, you want a job? We might got a job for you, nigga. Yo, Nick, did we throw you 25,000 bonus for nothing the other day? Throw it on Nick.
Just for nothing.
Throw it on Nick in the control room. In the control room. Put the camera on him. Throw the camera on him real quick. Nick, what we threw you? Because we love you. Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
We have nothing else to do. We was bored that day. I say you ain't deserving it. We was bored, nigga. We threw him something because we say, Nick been working his ass off. We threw him that. You ever do somebody in your camp 25,000 because you ain't have nothing else to do that day, nigga? Get the fuck out of here, nigga. I try to take it easy on you, nigga. I try to take it easy.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Let me tell this little nigga something, man.
Last thing, mother.
All right, go ahead.
My teeth from America. I ain't go overseas. My shit's $60K, nigga. I ain't go to Dr. Rarufu, whoever's name in Dominican Republic. My shit's American name 60.
Yo, she tripping.
All right, go ahead.
My teeth from America. I ain't go overseas. My shit's $60K, nigga. I ain't go to Dr. Rarufu, whoever's name in Dominican Republic. My shit's American name 60. You gonna need these. You ever fight Shakur, nigga? You better ask me which nigga, because if not, you got a DR budget. How you getting paid? You gonna have to go get your shit for 12,000. Fucked up. Then they have to do them all over. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Murder.
Yo, these niggas keep.
Yo, this nigga Cam sound like he is. This nigga Cam straight up sound like he on a diss track. This nigga Cam sound like he is straight up on a diss track. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, this was bananas right here.
Talking about the sweet science. Listen, boxing is also entertainment. Let me school you, nigga. So when you get in the ring, you're not entertaining. We don't want to keep hearing about the sweet science. We're looking for entertainment. We're paying bucks for entertainment, nigga. And you're not entertaining. And somebody got to tell you this. I know you flipped out on Tim Bradley, tried to say they paid him to say that. I know you said that Bob Arum panned the cam on people leaving out as you was fighting. But listen, if the fight was smoking, nobody had to walk out. You should not be the main event fighting like the undercard. Your fight was like the undercard. All the smoke was before you. So they need to rearrange how you're going. You're like a headliner that really need to be the opening act. And that's on a business sense. So you need to take note of that.
And you could twiddle your fingers off all day, nigga. We on 5 days a week. We'll give you a segment all week, nigga. If this what you want to do, nigga.
I ain't giving that little nigga no.
I got time.
You got time?
I got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I got time for
Yeah, I said
But
the Shakur thing so he understands.
For me, lastly, is this, bro. In all due respect and seriousness.
Yeah.
What Mace just said is right. You have to be entertaining for people to want to come see you. Now, yesterday when we was talking about the fight, I said, it seems like we're talking about somebody who lost. And I get it. You're a great boxer. And I talked about that with Floyd. I was saying that before Floyd was money made, he was pretty boy Floyd and he was getting in fights. He was thumping it out pause with niggas. He was knocking niggas out.
Yeah.
Over 50% knockout rate from the very jump, maybe 60 at one particular time. But you're not doing.
What did I say about that with Floyd before he became a strictly defensive fighter? He was knocking niggas out on the reg. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
On that, they call you pillow hands. That's what they call you. I didn't make that up. That's what I heard. They call you pillow hands.
We didn't make that up.
We didn't make that up.
Nobody said we made that up.
Right.
Who would know you as pillow hands?
Right.
That's what we need to know.
Yeah. Who named you pillow hands? I don't know. You can get mad at us for reiterating what somebody else named you, but they named you pillow hands.
And that's our job.
That's our job.
His job is to fight. We're doing our job. He's not doing his job.
Exactly. And we're doing a better job here.
Yeah,
that's what's going on. Exactly. But listen, it's room for you here. We need a boxer analyst weekly. You know,
instead of being all in the videos, sending niggas photos and all of that.
Yeah, bro.
Knock a nigga out, you know, and preferably not on the street.
Yeah.
They gonna kill you, nigga. Box and knock somebody out in the ring.
Yeah.
Don't be a gangster outside of the ring. We're not here for that with you. We don't even want to be in that with you. Knock somebody out in the ring. Preferably, let me tell you something better than that. Lomachenko said he will step to the side for you to fight Tank Davis. Do you really want to get it, nigga, or not? That's what it comes down to.
I wouldn't recommend that. I would not recommend that.
I wouldn't recommend it either.
I would not recommend that. Not now.
I wouldn't. And the reason why Lomachenko said that is because he knows that Tank will win that fight, get 2 belts, and then Lomachenko can fight him, so it can be a winner take all for all the motherfucking belts. Okay. All right. Thank you for recommending that. Yes, that was real. Oh Lord,
right?
You know I'm a boxing fan. That was very real. That was very real. And Shakur Stevenson got to get out of his feelings and be a more exciting fighter or be a more exciting brand. One of the two. Because people complained about Floyd fights for about a good 6-7 year flight. But what sold the fight, what made everybody want to watch, was that he had that $100 million personality. Shakur Stevenson has neither. So you either need to get your fight game up or you need to get your personality game up to make people want to see you fight. Because for the last, I'm going to say about the last 8 years of Floyd's career, niggas was just tuning in to see him lose. Niggas was tuning in to see if he would lose. The fights wouldn't be super impressive, but the goddamn HBO countdown was a motherfucker. It made you want to order the shit. You remember, I was watching them bitches faithfully. Like, man, I can't wait for this fight. And by round 9 of the fight, Rob, remember that shit too. By round 9, I'm walking out the fucking house saying, ain't this a bitch? So it just, you know, that just is what it is. So they not saying nothing wrong about that support students.
Stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up.
What the fuck are you doing, bro? That nigga froze for a reason. What's up, bro? You all the way up, huh? Somebody just put on the Facebook chat, he lit. Oh man. You good, bro? I guess we froze again. Tony, you good?
Oh yeah.
Kid, you
I'm
good?
too good.
I see you too good, nigga. But anyway, listen. This I said at the beginning of this show that it was going to be heavy. It did not disappoint, but we have just hit 3.5 hours. 3.5
Hey,
hours.
sir. Hey, sir.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta do two things. One, Beverly Hills Cop was good.
Watch your mouth.
You're
man.
right. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Watch your mouth.
It did a whole lot of the nostalgia thing. It did the whole nostalgia walk thing with Taggart because he was too damn old, you know.
Not
really,
yes,
Billy.
he was. Not just Taggart, but my boy, what's his name? Aquel.
Oh, Surge. Surge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did the whole nostalgia thing, and it was cool for that, you know, the whole daughter angle, you know. They should have had the mama in it somehow, you know, because when that happened,
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Kind of thing. But I get pressed for time, you know. Netflix say you got 2 hours, you got 2 hours. So there's that. The second thing is question to you, Kia, because maybe we can shame Brandon into this. So do you watch The Chi?
No, she doesn't.
I've never seen it.
God damn. Joe Biden, you ain't black if. What? Come on, man.
You really, you
I know.
And you are, and it's a hiatus. There is nothing out right now, really, except for House of the Dragon. You don't watch House of the Dragon, Brandon, so you ain't got no excuse.
Tony,
She probably watched House of the Dragon.
Hold on, Tony. Because this is the way you weren't paying attention because you're so busy trying to shame me. I told you that I got Kia onto Power and Snowfall.
Yeah,
that don't mean that ain't The Chi.
It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if
she might be a little bit more black. You never know.
I might have to. I might have to. I mean, somebody at work told me about it, so I mean, I guess everybody keeps telling me about it.
Now is the time because they're in a break. Like literally, they're in a break, and this is when you catch up. These are the times when you do catch up.
I told you this years ago. I said Kia didn't give a fuck about Power, but she consistently saw me watching it and then got into it.
It's better than Power, Kia. Kia, it's better than Power. It's more sensical than Power.
I said, but she really didn't give a fuck about Snowfall until I just kept consistently watching it, and she started watching it. The only show that we watched together jointly was Empire. That's it.
One of the most nonsensical shows, but you ain't expect Empire to be sensical. Like it just, you know. But real talk. But you watch House of the Dragon though, don't you?
No, she doesn't.
Oh, you are
so
fired
like I'm
from
gonna
the
be
blurb.
honest. I spend a lot of my time. Well, at least now, honestly, the only thing I've been watching on TV is MTV does reruns of the show Ridiculousness like every day, and I think it's hilarious. So I watch it.
Oh, I take that back. There's one more show that we both watched together. That was.
But I bet you turned into Saniqua, didn't you?
Tony. It was one more
I
show
don't know
that we
what that
watched
is.
together. Tony,
You don't know what
it was
Saniqua
one more
is?
show that we watched together. Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah, that was a good show. That was real good.
But you don't know who Saniqua is?
Who is that?
Discovery, Star Trek, Discovery, the sister captain.
Oh, okay? Star Trek Discovery. Okay.
Yeah, that's her name, Saniqua.
Is her name really Sonequa?
Yeah, it is.
In
Don't
real
she look
life?
like a Sonequa? I mean, does she look like a Candace? Not really. I mean,
I mean, a little bit. So is her name real life Sonequa?
yeah,
In
it's
real life?
Sonequa. It's Sonequa Green.
Wow. Okay. I was like, I know that's not her name on the show.
No, it's not. Her name on the show is a guy's
It's
name.
like a boy's name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guy's name.
It's a boy's name.
I can't remember it right now.
These nuts.
Yeah.
Now's the time to
I think
catch
they're
up,
on like
y'all.
the final season now. Yeah,
They in a
I'll take
break.
I got a vacation coming up, so I'll spend a couple days.
They in a break. That break could last for about 6 months. You got time to binge watch that shit. It's 6 seasons. You got time to binge watch that.
You got a vacation coming up. I promise you, she will not spend a lick of it watching the fucking Shy. I'm just saying.
I might.
That she's saying that shit for YouTube purposes only. I'm telling you. She's saying this shit for YouTube and Facebook purposes only.
No, seriously, I've been more open. Like, for example,
it doesn't
I
have
heard
to do with you
Charlamagne
being more open. I know Kia.
But no, all right, look. So look,
Yeah.
if I have a particular taste in stuff that I like to watch, like you
And it
said
ain't the
earlier,
Shy.
Tony, I'm a blurred. I am a blurred. So I watch, History Channel. I'm always watching documentaries. That's usually my speed. I don't watch too many like TV shows.
My boy
right? Or
Lomar
things
said
like
he's
that.
gonna watch it, Tony.
I do the documentary
But I'll
thing,
check,
but it's like, how
I'm
many
open to checking it out.
documentaries can you really watch? And like Morgan Freeman is the voice of God. Like,
Bro,
like,
that's gonna be regularly scheduled ass TV is documentaries because now everybody want to know what's up with everybody in real life. That New
Yeah.
Edition documentary fucked people up.
But no, what I was gonna say is, as far as being more open to other stuff, I heard Charlamagne the God talk about this show he watched while he was on vacation that was on Tubi called I Have a Story to Tell. I didn't know what to expect. And I watched the first episode yesterday and it's wild. So basically, it's a bunch of celebrities. A lot of them you've seen before, like Young Jock, Omarion's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of other people. Candy from Escape. She's in or Real House or whatever show she was on. But they're playing out these stories, and in the first episode was wild. Like, I don't want to give it away, but it almost reminded me.
Comment in the chat saying that's my shit.
Yeah. It like I was like, wow, just off the first episode. So it's a 6-episode series. So I'm gonna finish the rest just to see where I wasn't expecting what I got, but I mean, it was good. I don't usually watch that type of stuff, but it was good. Yeah.
Well, again, we've been over 3.5 hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night because I'm gonna be honest with you. We could go ahead on with this for another probably 2-3 hours.
Not key. I gotta work.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We could go on with this for another 2 or 3 hours. Rob, you got any closing comments?
Before we leave, I just want to say I find it odd that y'all to know about CERN, but y'all would still watch television. I'm gonna just leave.
Rob, you don't watch TV?
No, he really doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't. So we'll leave that to be continued for the next episode of Conspiracy Theories. But anyway, for Robert, for Tony, for Kia, it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. I tell you what, I will be back on here on Monday. And then, like I said, Friday's episode, which could be Conspiracy Theories as well, I will save that for Thursday because, again, Friday is my birthday. And I like I said, I don't know what that day will bring. I may come on here Friday. I may not. But I will not disappoint because I'm definitely going to have the episode on Thursday night. I'm probably going to be sipping on some 20 grand that night, but it is what it is. So it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. I'm out this bitch. Peace. Love you. See you on Monday.